Hello, this is take 2 of the Macbeth audio commentary, and hopefully we'll get through without technical difficulties this time. My name is Ben Adams. I am the producer and editor of this image you now see before you, and arranged behind me is a collection of persons who worked on the production who will introduce themselves.
I'm Maggie Dewar. I was the Directrix Artificium, also known as the Artistic Director for the production.
I'm Carolyn Thompson, and I was the Directress of everything else.
My name is Jonathan Bales, and I was Macbeth.
My name is Nathan Kirby, and I played Macduff.
My name is Jonathan Canary. I played the priest, who you will not find in the original Shakespeare text.
And I'm Kirsten Etherton. I was the props mistress and everything else. Set painting, director's support, things like that.
She kept us from all going mad. I mean, more than we did, anyway.
Some of us.
Not really. It didn't work.
I think I may have had a bit part in here too, I don't know. Something. I don't remember.
You died.
You had the porter.
Oh, yeah, you were servant.
Everybody died.
The porter.
You
You're
kept
the
those
porter,
feelings
that's
bottled
right.
up.
It was the token in-troop drunk.
I appreciate you bottling up any further comments of the sort.
I hope the audience will just take a moment to listen to the beautiful soundtrack in the beginning of this play, which was composed, I believe, a week and a half in advance of the actual performance by David Carver, who also plays Lennox.
I would just like everyone to observe the dead bodies all over the stage. We actually have those sketched out and neatly labeled in my notebook somewhere.
Were those my idea?
I have no idea. I drew them.
I liked them. I think they were my idea.
Was that a real crow's foot on one of those witch
Yes,
peppers?
my
Yes.
mother sent that to me.
Yeah.
Kirsten
And I
had
kept
to,
them in my desk for most of the semester, and
I have a
slightly
great long.
disturbed.
I have a long quote about what she suffered for art. She did too.
Real live dead crow's feet.
This is maybe one of my favorite parts of the entire play. Just the dead bodies, and this is always how I imagined Macbeth opening if it was a movie. It's like mists and dead people, so yeah.
We really couldn't do a whole lot with the lighting. What did we have? Just a few spotlights just a few floodlights in the back, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh.
much the options were on, low, and off.
Now that's the beginning of the torn shirt.
The
That-
scandalous bloody
Scandalous
shirt.
bloody
The
shirt.
scandalous
Yeah.
bloody
It's been used in sundry Eden True performances since then.
That's actually less scandalous than the initial
Yeah,
conception.
we
of
had
the
to get on our
bloody
knees
shirt.
and beg Philip to put that on the first time.
We actually had a what was her title? What was Mandy's title?
Blood
Somebody
technician.
Who was blood technician. Who was in charge of making all the fake blood, and she thoroughly enjoyed it.
She had a lot
and
of fun.
We also
There's
called
lots
her
of it.
Bloody Mandy and Mandy Red Hand.
She made excellent fake blood, except it tended to burn the skin, which
Yeah,
we discovered
everyone
after
walked
that.
around with rashes for
It had
a couple
bleach of
weeks
some kind in
afterwards.
it.
Procon-
Philip's face
Tide,
didn't
I
look
believe
so
it was
good.
Tide.
Yeah, that's what Tide.
Procon-
Philip responded particularly poorly, but it was okay because you put the blood in the, over the rash every night and you couldn't actually see the rash.
I would just
All
like
the professors were
everyone.
disturbed, but
I would just like everyone to admire the lovely cloak pins. These are primarily. See, I think one of them was someone's hair clip.
Yeah, some were provided by my mother. She went thrift store hunting for us.
I bought one at the Renaissance Fair, the one that Macbeth will be wearing. And Kirsten made those crowns.
Yes, she slaved over
Really?
them
Sunday afternoon in
very
the dorm
dangerous.
room
like 3 days before the performance.
with
And
power tools.
Tuesday was when we decided we didn't want her to make torques for everyone to wear.
no, I think I flatly told you I couldn't.
That
You
was an
tried.
initial
I don't think
idea.
you
We
decided.
tried. We did try.
It would have been nice. We were gonna do armbands at one point too.
Yeah.
Like the important guys got torques and the less important guys got armbands, and that's how you could tell. Didn't happen.
I loved Caleb's entrance.
That was a
That
good
part, just
entrance.
dramatic.
He has a number of good entrances, in fact.
All of them to tell someone important that someone else has died. It's very depressing.
Is it really?
Yes.
I love Caleb. His acting was he was so intense for, he didn't really have a huge part, but he just threw himself into what he had.
Our costume mistresses were just amazing.
We had. Do you remember how many times we had to work on that cheer?
Yeah.
It was falling on us.
That cheer
Yes.
and every cheer, yes.
You will be enthusiastic now.
We should have assigned them to go to like soccer games. And didn't we try that? Practice their cheer.
We did.
There was the
no.
dorm football game.
The
All right,
We
dorm
went to
you
the
guys
football game,
really
but
need to
half of
talk for a while about the masculinification of well, the Thanes and everyone else except Kirby.
Corey making them yell.
Yeah, Corey helped a lot.
Well, first of all, it's not terribly effective to have female directresses making them be manly.
Yeah, especially this play, but it fell to us, so.
They turned out remarkably well.
Didn't you get special permission to watch a movie that generally we weren't allowed to watch on campus? Or
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Wasn't
Braveheart.
it Braveheart?
We got
Is
to
that
watch
how that works?
Braveheart
Yeah.
a couple times.
Oh, they're so freaky.
One point on the witches. Every time they open with that drum, the people in the back jump.
Yeah, there were people
It
scared.
was hilarious.
Kenny Lee did
Kenny
an
Lee-
excellent job with those.
Yes, he did. And they changed every night. Every night got better.
Yeah, I would watch him. Like he would lean forward, look down the row of people to his right, bang on the drum, and then just watch everybody jump out of their seat. It was awesome.
I think Emily Holmes designed the makeup. Her first sketches were different, so I know she refined them.
In fact, the first draft of the makeup was different, as you will see if you look at the poster art carefully. Her face has got something very different on it.
Yeah, I think that design was just like a couple weeks beforehand. She decided to go with the slashed look.
I definitely like what she wound up with.
So dramatic.
The witch's makeup in this is pretty amazing.
Yeah, she spent like an hour and a half every night putting it on herself and the other two witches.
I remember that with Arabic pop going in the background, I believe.
All right, Maggie, just tell us about your basic concept for, well, really for the whole play, I guess, and where it came from.
I mean, so much of Macbeth hinges on who the witches are, whether they're figments of Macbeth's imagination or just kind of random people on the wayside. We decided we wanted to really make a point about spiritual warfare. So we conceived the witches as Celtic goddesses, aka demons, who were out to just create havoc in Scotland, Scotland which is becoming Christianized, and they kind of choose Macbeth as their victim. We kind of tried to imply in the beginning that they were behind the civil strife that is the opening of the play. And these gray cloaks you see them wearing was kind of our conception to show when they're visible to the naked eye and when there are invisible spiritual forces. You'll see their transformation kind of halfway through this scene. We put them into a lot of different scenes where they do not appear in the play, just to kind of make the point of the influence of evil and temptation on Macbeth's journey through the story.
Made them the murderers also, I think.
Yeah.
To,
they represent just the, I don't know.
Yeah, another thing I
Temptation.
particularly appreciated about this rendition of the witches was that it shows that evil is true and horrible, but also limited. They can go only as far as they have, in some sense, consent from a mortal's will. They were able to tempt Macbeth.
But he's the one who made the choices to do what he does throughout the play.
And at the end,
There's no kind of moral determinism going on.
right,
The spiritual warfare aspect was really interesting because it was such a tense semester for everyone on campus. Even talking to staff and faculty, everyone was just having a very rough time. And so this sort of brought to a focus, I think, for some of us in the play, possibly, particularly for me playing the priest, and sort of the sole obvious character representing good, and obviously outnumbered by the witches, who also get a lot more stage time.
There they go.
And now they're invisible. Frustrating that.
they've turned into air. I thought that That was a very nice touch, picking up the cloaks with
Yeah.
the sword.
Was that an ad-lib you did that night, Bales? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember being told to do it. It just seemed quite natural.
It worked.
Because the entire objective is they're invisible, and I pick up the cloak, which is still visible, and it's all very freaky.
So a lot of the things that worked in this play were just kind of, you know, we're sitting in the back and the actors just decide to do something, and we're like, oh, that worked. Glad someone's got their heads on their shoulders.
Do that again.
Tell us about the casting process.
It was something.
It was very interesting.
It was
I'd
inward
never
desperate.
cast anything before.
We've always had, or we had had before this play, a huge problem getting guys to come try out for Eden Troop. And it was the same with this play, and we had to resort to sending roving bands of Leoness wing members around to random places on campus to get random freshman guys to come try out, and that's how we got Kirby, I think. Well, your sister was
My
in
sister
Leoness.
convinced me to come.
There
To
was
quote
that.
Brett Larson, well, these girls came.
And as I recall, I was actually drafted afterwards.
Yeah,
I did not try out.
we had
I
to
didn't have time to
draft
try out.
Curry, which you see here. John Curry was drafted just because he randomly came in with Kirby. He said he didn't want to be in the play, and we ended up convincing him to do it anyway.
We also had a couple guys try out, and we cast them, and they backed out and wouldn't take the part. And
Yeah,
so we had to do
a
some
lot of
last-minute
juggling.
juggling.
We had
But
to juggle
looking
the
back,
witches and
I
Lady
am-
Macbeth around a couple times. Hecate, was she going to be in the play or not?
That's true. There were actually 3 girls that we were juggling for the parts of the First Witch and Lady Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the choices didn't want any of the parts, and so that simplified matters.
Yeah. Yeah, but we did end up having to, I guess Curry and Rachel Patterson were the 2 people who didn't audition, really, but who got parts anyway.
Well, them and all the dead bodies.
And the dead bodies.
And the dead bodies.
The dead bodies were
Yes.
cast like 3 weeks
Way
in advance.
later.
It was remarkable, actually, how much conceptual work was still happening deep into the process of rehearsals. Halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, still
Yes.
arguing about, well, what do we want Hecate to look like? What kind of
Yes.
creature is this? Assuming we're actually going to have her in the play and not cut her scene.
I remember that discussion very clearly. I think we should discuss it more when Hecate comes on
Yeah,
stage.
this is another one of my favorite parts.
The temptation of Macbeth.
Just the way Angelis comes up in his shoulder like this. Ugh. It's like she's gonna lick his ears. Ugh.
I think the black gloves were a beautiful touch for this scene.
I personally like the black raven and the shield to myself.
Those shields.
Our
were
props mistress just
really
rocks
amazing.
the world.
Are you responsible for the Raven?
Her family is.
My
Your
sister
family?
did it. I think I helped her.
Her family made those shields.
Yeah, the night I
Those
got
shields
the
were really
back
something
was really
else.
fun.
Your shields literally saved our lives.
They
Yeah.
they really did.
Well, I just remember, Bales, you used to get really freaked out rehearsing this scene, didn't you?
They were good. I would be standing there, and I would literally have to put everything I had into forgetting that they were next to me. They were scary. Emily's mellowed since then.
Thank you, Kendall. That's been said.
Amen.
Anyway, back on topic.
Because Macbeth has to present 2 faces. He has to be very friendly, very cordial, placate the people around him. He has to play the 2 messengers one way. He has to play Banquo a little differently. And then when he's honest with himself, he's odd.
On a steep path to a very, very deep hole.
Uh-huh.
Vaulting ambition, which
And
falls on
good
the
old
other.
Scott gathers those cloaks and gets them off the stage.
Yeah.
I liked the black feathers in the hair too.
Emily's,
That was a
Emily's
good
grin,
sign.
Emily's witch grin.
It's the makeup. It's all in that blood red lip makeup.
Emily's grin was scary.
Yeah.
My entrance.
And then
Please note that Kirby has a cross on his shield. That was very deliberate.
it's blue.
And the blue matches my
Yes.
tartan.
The
That was
Priestess
deliberate.
was an addition of ours. We didn't want to have to cast an old man and a doctor or figure out how we were going to figure those parts out. So we decided to combine the old man who I think is the person actually speaking in Shakespeare's rendition at this point, and then the doctor who comes in later, and have it be a priest and have him just kind of stand as the antithesis to all the evil going on in the play.
Worked
Though we
very
didn't
well.
actually change any lines.
I also enjoyed the only part of the play that we actually picked up and moved was the funny bit with the old man / priest at the beginning about the hands of the king or the hands of the healer, as Tolkien put it. I had actually come across that theme in some of my reading in high school, a medieval history of some sort. When I discovered that Tolkien hadn't just invented it, there were actually threads of people that believed that. And then when I found it in Macbeth, I was very excited. And we thought about cutting that scene altogether, but then we thought it would be more effective to put it at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's the scene we just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got told a couple weeks before that I was in fact doing that scene after all.
That's true. We decided that the day of the dorm football game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Should we tell my answering Paul David's cell phone story at this point? It was
Certainly.
rehearsing this scene. Paul David's cell phone kept ringing, and I finally just picked it up and said, "Is execution done on Cawdor?" And the person at the end kind of coughed and spluttered and said, "What?" And I just said, "He's in the middle of a Macbeth rehearsal, can he call you back?" And I think it was his sister, she said something cordial and hung up, and we all laughed.
It made it into the quote list.
And any other very funny quotes.
All right, now for the benefit of the audience who may not have sorted all this out, we've got about, 4 different types of tartan going? 5?
Yeah,
Explain
we
these
have
to us.
the royal tartan, which the king and his sons are wearing.
It's that reddish one there.
And then Banquo has his tartan, which he and Fleance, his son, wear. Kirby, Macduff, and Ross are wearing the same tartan. We decided that they were cousins of some sort, probably in the same clan, because they call each other cousin. And we thought it would work out with the scene between Ross and Lady Macduff if the two are related. And then we have
Macbeth is wearing the red and green tartan. We thought it symbolized the violence and
it was
the
a very
nastiness of character.
beautiful, but just kind of a dark look to that fabric, which I liked.
And there's
then
kind
we
of
have-
an inherent clash to
Yeah.
it also.
And then the other 3 things, Lennox and who was Curry?
Angus.
Lennox and Angus and Caithness in their own patterns.
I remember the first time we presented Macbeth with his tartan. It was for the photo shoot for the posters, actually.
There was 30 feet of it.
There was 30 feet of it. And he said that he had enough to pattern an anaconda. I thought that was a good way of putting it.
Or just strangle a hippopotamus.
I think it was awesome how just the way they were we arranged the fabric, and just it's just pajama fabric, it's not that authentic or expensive. It was really cheap, but it works. I especially like the way John Curry is wearing his across his chest like that. Really worked.
There's a bit of an interesting parallel between that scene and the crowning and the final scene as well, that may play out through the course of the drama.
Am I right in suspecting that Macbeth is the only one who does not actually bow in that scene and swear allegiance?
That is correct.
Yes.
Lady Macbeth.
Anyone who knows anything about camera work will realize that a lot of this is really kind of overexposed. I think that's the fault of our backdrop and my cameras, but
We do have a really
We're sorry.
cool backdrop, painted by Emily Holmes, and we walked in like the day she finished it, and it was just perfect, like the smoky stone.
I love the colors in this play, with mostly gray and the black. It's very dingy, but then there's a neat thing that they do with the colors inside the palace. The Macbeth's palace has the red banners,
red.
and then later on you'll see the Macduffs have blue.
and the red just sort of crescendos in Macbeth's palace. I mean, there's just you get finally to the dinner scene, and there's just red everywhere, and it's kind of oppressive actually.
We had to work very hard to get the right character contrast between Lady Macbeth and, well, me. It took work to get her to be, well, how would one describe Lady Macbeth?
Like evil,
We
deadly.
described it as kind of a
shrew.
character chiasmus, an X. So at the beginning of the play, there was more of a what we would consider an appropriate complementarity, where Macbeth was, in some sense, still properly the leader, but she was. Or am I getting this backwards?
Backwards, I think.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
At the beginning, what you're getting at is Lady Macbeth is the driving force, and she is. As you're about to see, I go spineless like spaghetti when I walk into her presence. It's really quite
We
sweet.
actually drilled him on that posture for this scene a lot. Took a little while to kind of figure out how we wanted him to stand, just to kind of get the properly just cowed attitude of his before his wife. What was our motto was what an evil man either beats or cringes. So
I think that was courtesy of Dr. Hake actually.
yeah.
And he makes the shift from one to the other.
Yeah, he
Cringing to beating.
cringes in the beginning and beating in the end.
Well,
kind
cringing to stage kissing, really.
Well, we have that chiasmus coming later. We can probably explain that.
All right.
But-
She asked for this. She really did.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Holy moly.
This is the first time we're seeing this screen effect here. That
That's
works.
so cool.
Yeah.
That so works.
Witches are so evil.
The thing that delighted me about doing this play is that we had to work really hard to make everybody that evil. Especially the guys. It just didn't, evilness just didn't come naturally.
Well, we had those poor witches. I mean, we really did change our interpretation of their characters. Like,
Every day.
yeah, almost every performance. You know, sometime we wanted them to act like cats, and other times we had different animals we wanted them to be. And
Toads.
yeah,
are the
they were
term.
really patient with us, and
And here's the cringing. Yes, dear? Yes, dear. Very yes, dear. What do you want, dear?
murder, dear? Why, of course, dear. Right away, dear.
Would you like fries with that?
You're pretty spineless actually. That's really pathetic. Well done.
Thank you. It's a work.
He's not actually like that, folks.
Not usually.
He's really more the brutish kind. But
Your vote of confidence is much appreciated.
speaking of brutishness, tell us about fight rehearsals, someone.
Well, we didn't actually have
get to that
proper fight rehearsals until a certain incident.
We should probably wait
yeah,
on
maybe
that
we
one.
should wait
Well-
until.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Everyone's
wait.
probably heard the story. It was all over campus.
But we did actually start out more cautious.
This is,
Oh.
Yeah, that was a bad moment.
bad.
Really
You
did.
could
It's just
hear-
that when
you
you
could
when
hear
you
groans
repeat
in the
one
audience at that
scene,
point.
when you repeat one scene, 5 times in a row, and you're going over it again and again, and it gets kind of old, and you get a little sloppy, and things happen. But
Well, we did start out more cautious.
You do get your point across.
I told you to warn me ahead of time if you were going to make any jokes like that.
Sorry.
I would like everyone to note that there are vines so that this scene is outside. And that's how you know.
I'd also like you to note Scott's dialogue. It is,
Hilarious.
yeah.
Those are the day folks.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
And Lady Macbeth comes out.
Ew.
It is impressive how nice she can look.
We
See, the kind of she is nice.
yeah.
Well, I know that.
Oh, you just say that because she's
We
your
did
sister.
we changed
No.
her colors. Lots of productions of Macbeth will have Lady Macbeth wearing like white in the beginning, and she's usually in red by the end. And we decided to do yellow, for some reason I'm blanking on right now. I guess we thought it was less cliched than doing white. I don't think Emily
liked
liked
her
us very
costume.
much. She didn't really like that color yellow, did she? But
Well, she preferred
submitted.
it to the color that she wore for Much Ado About Nothing.
No.
that was.
I think it works. It's not threatening.
No.
She's very much she's the flower. How's the line go? She appears the flower, but she's the serpent underneath.
Mm.
Something like that. I said it better in the play, I think.
And then we were cliched later.
Shakespeare
and
said it
changed her
better
to
in the
red when
play.
she becomes queen. It's tradition. We had a lot of these scenes that were hard to block because it was just basically one or two characters standing in the middle of the stage talking, just back and forth. And Shakespeare is difficult this way.
There's a lot of these scenes, and they're all very short, and they just... Yeah.
And I think, well, Bales especially managed to get across the intensity of each of his small scenes like this very, very well.
A lot of monologuing. The monologues are important.
Yeah. Evidently, Macbeth had not read the Evil Overlord list yet.
But he's acting very differently in this bit than he will shortly when his wife comes back out. There's a very marked contrast.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of
Which
just
I like.
like the last gasp of the good Macbeth.
It's him being honest with himself for the last time.
Well, kind of. He gets the honesty comes back towards the end, but none of the virtue.
True.
Honesty without virtue.
Honesty without virtue is mere accuracy.
Where did we get Macbeth's cloak pin? I really, really liked that.
I bought it at the Renaissance Fair. We
yeah.
went that day and we saw another version of Macbeth
I
where they
like
had
ours
a
better.
I liked ours better too. But they had a stage kiss in it. I don't know if you remember that. And we discussed it thoroughly and decided we did not want a stage kiss in our version.
We'll get back to that later.
Exactly.
All
We
I'll say
never
for
wanted
now,
a stage kiss. We never wanted a stage kiss of any kind.
One comment: sea urchin. That's all you get.
I think Bales would actually lose about 2 inches whenever Lady Macbeth would come into the room.
I do. I slouched my spine. It was
That's
quite
true.
something.
Was that one of the suggestions we came up with?
Mhm. I slouch and my arms go like spaghetti. That's what happens.
Oh, Lady Macbeth. Christy
Was it? Yeah,
Somerville
Christy
worked
Somerville
very
blocked this
hard
Yes.
with Lady Macbeth and got every move perfectly choreographed. I was very impressed with how they worked it out.
I believe it was her idea for the sleepwalking scene.
Yeah.
A lot of that, anyways.
I often felt at a loss as far as blocking went.
She actually hit me, you know.
I think
I
you told her
didn't.
to.
I did.
Poor
Okay.
soul.
It hurt.
Aww.
As you can see.
She's not a bit impressed.
Was she cast right off the bat? I don't recall.
There was some discussion,
There was.
but
I think we were very glad with how it turned
yeah,
out.
we were.
Yes.
Well, I certainly was.
This is the one of the very few lines that we changed in order to accommodate some of the scruples of the actors.
I think it was just as well to change it. She got the point across quite well.
She did.
It's
The
really cringy.
the explicit language was not required.
I really liked that line, so it took them a long time to convince me to change it, but oh well.
There's so many other better lines.
Yeah. I
I
did get to keep a good bit of the morbid lines, so.
I think we actually ended up cutting a lot more of Ben's lines, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't change very many, but we cut a few.
We had a whole paragraph.
I just
It
didn't think it was
beautiful.
very funny.
Well, it's not very funny. It was just gross.
Nevertheless, this is one of Shakespeare's least bawdy plays, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I believe the shortest. So why it comes in for 2.5 hours for us, I really don't know. But
Yes.
I think
It was quite clean. It was just full of murder, witchcraft, and a dysfunctional marriage.
very disappointing.
And violence. A
And
lot of violence.
violence.
I mean, I think Tale of Two Cities has now probably surpassed us
Yes.
for terms of sheer body count and
Drag
blood
the whole
spilled.
thing.
But
But
this
to
is
say
good and
that you-
violent
it
violence.
was-
It was the
to
violence
say
that
that
got
you've been
me
beat out by
into
the
play
French
in the first place.
Revolution is not much of a recommendation.
I've been editing madly since about 6:30 this morning, trying to finish this thing off, and I haven't quite managed it. But we might finish the commentary anyways, and the audience responds well to the violence.
This was a good scene.
I loved this scene. It was, I can't remember whose idea it was to put Angelique there in the back, because we couldn't really figure out how to get her on for the dagger scene.
But that was an early development, and
Yeah.
I think it really helped.
We have her kind of asleep back in the corner there, and if I don't know if you'll be able to catch it, but she kind of comes to life like a statue coming to life when Macbeth comes on the scene, and that I just remember it giving me just awful nightmarish goosebumps the first time she did it. It was terrifying.
Because Angelise is a dancer, and when she snaps awake, she snaps awake.
So many of the concepts for these scenes, for the blocking, really just sort of created themselves once we were running with with Maggie's basic genius concept of having the witches as demons essentially, and then they could be invisible and they could be all over the place, and just layers and layers of visual subtext to a host of scenes. And you have to have the dagger there, and why not have it actually there? I suppose everybody usually just does it invisibly or hangs it on a wire or something awful like that.
Yeah, I think it's most of the Macbeths I've seen. It's just in his imagination, and the audience can't see it at all.
I do have a question about the candle. Did we ever actually get permission to have a lit candle carried on stage for that scene?
I didn't ask it.
I
don't
don't think
know.
I asked either.
Oops. Sorry, Mr. Hall.
Somebody probably
It
did.
just sort of happened and it worked.
Yeah. I'd like to just give a little shout out to John, who played Fleance. It was really hard for him to act like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old when he was taller than Scott, who was playing his father, but he did the adolescent hunch okay, I think.
And the porter sort of pockets the gift for Lady Macbeth. Yes, I don't think she ever got that jewel.
Ooh, the shadow behind there.
We have a few nice shadows in here, actually. I just love her
Twilight.
postures. All of her postures are good.
Is that a dagger?
I love the way he slips his hand off it right there.
Where did this dagger come from? Is this yours, Carolyn?
It's Carolyn's.
It was mine. Lady Macbeth brought it to me from Spain when she went on a missions trip.
It's the witch's dagger. It only ever shows up with the witches. Though, does Macbeth
No,
end up with
it
by
turns
the
up at
end?
the end.
I stabbed someone.
The porter
Yeah.
brings it out.
The witches
Lady
stabbed
Macbeth-
in the bread.
It's in the bread, and Lady Macbeth has used it, it's implied, to kill herself, and the porter delivers it to Macbeth. And
No, I think I
it
stabbed
winds
someone
up
with
in someone, yeah.
Tobin, yes.
Yep.
But then, I guess before that point, it was just kind of the spiritual dagger versus Macbeth's actual dagger, which he uses for murders. Which is my dagger. Really, are some artistic
All right,
unity
just
there.
tell the story about the dagger.
The dagger.
This is the dagger.
Good friend of mine.
I have a secondary story about the dagger
We came
after
very
we
close
tell
to
the
that
first
dagger.
story.
Aside from the fact that it kept falling apart.
Well, initially
Yeah, my dagger is actually, it comes into like 3 or 4 different pieces,
so I super glued it back together one night.
like twice.
We started out very cautious. We really did. I wouldn't let them practice with the real daggers. I even tried doing the duel scenes with pillows once. That went over like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
And,
It just
and
doesn't
so then
have
we
the
used
same feel to it.
spoons and then
Spoons?
Yes, we
That
did
was
that
after.
once.
That was after.
Was that
the
after?
incident.
Anyway, we tried various things and then we kind of forgot.
Well, there was one night when we were doing all of Act 5, I think. Like, it was towards the middle, and we were trying to get all the blocking together, and we were tired, not paying attention, and Macbeth had been using that dagger for the entire rehearsal, and it got to the scene where he's supposed to, during the fight with Macduff, stab Macduff in the leg. And we had actually run it like 3 or 4 times with that dagger, and
Very
nothing had gone
slowly,
wrong. We had
very
even run even a more dangerously blocked scene with Tobin with the same dagger, earlier, and everything had been fine. And thank God we didn't stab Tobin through the abdomen, because that would have been awful.
Problematic.
But it was just Kirby stepped wrong, somebody stepped wrong, and
He slid forward and
It
I
was late at
slid
night.
forward, and
all of a sudden there was a dagger
Something
in
happened wrong.
Nathan's leg.
And so we staggered back in this great dramatic fashion.
And
we're all like, what great acting.
That was great. And then I saw blood, and I was like, all right, he's just
Tiny
got,
little
he's got a
spot of
pinprick.
blood. Tiny spot.
ironically, both of our first thought was, darn, we ripped the jeans.
That was exactly what I was thinking. And
So they dashed the directresses out of the room. We were the only ladies present.
We were outside wailing our fates, deciding we wanted to jump into Lake Bob rather than face
Just
Earl
about,
Hall
yeah,
and Dr.
actually.
Sanders.
Pretty
As
much.
I
is
recall,
true.
I volunteered to go tell Dean Wilson, Dean of Student Life, for them.
Yeah, I think I hid, and
And weren't there
basically
like
went into
3
hysterics
Eagle
and
Scouts and
Western
2
went too the next
EMTs
day.
present in the room?
Oh, the first aid kit came out immediately.
Yeah, well,
I really
It was under control.
felt like I had way too much
Yeah,
attention
well,
on me at that point.
You did.
No
You
thanks to Nick
absolutely did.
Isley, who calls the security desk and says,
Whoa, bloody
someone's
dagger.
been
Sorry.
stabbed.
There wasn't that much blood on it.
No.
Thankfully.
No,
It
just
was
on
about,
that
about,
bottom
about
left.
an inch of it or so.
3/4 of an inch.
We have
Yeah.
photographic evidence of
Yeah.
how much blood there was.
Mandy slathered the daggers that night. And I avoided stabbing my wife. Huzzah!
We appreciated
Remarkable
that.
restraint on your part.
The smaller dagger is actually a temporary gift from Philip Cole. It's an amazing little knife, and I needed a second dagger, so he handed it to me night of production.
I
Really?
loved how every time he would come out for this scene, the whole audience would just go, ugh, the blood all over everything. Loved the reactions.
I love Emily's expressions in the background as she's watching him get crazier and more worked up. Her expressions are just perfect. Right there. That's good.
You get the sense that she maybe is just starting to realize the monster she's unleashed. I love that line.
The audience laughs at this, actually.
Feel the projection.
No.
It's a beautiful thing.
I am so amazed you did not go completely hoarse by the end of the third night, Dale.
It was the fourth night. By the time I was done, I had no voice.
But you kept it to the very end. It was amazing.
Fight to the last gasp.
I think all of us were by the last night. I found myself right before going on for one scene. I was hacking backstage. I couldn't talk, and I was just like, "Please, God, let me be able to get out my lines." And for the rest of the play, I was fine. And then right after it was over, I couldn't talk at all.
Now this scene is perfectly safe. The only cat. I swear. The thing is that Emily is an amazing actress. She knew exactly how far I would move. She knew exactly where it was safe to be with respect to the daggers and where it wasn't. She made this scene.
And shall we say the Macbeth shall sleep no more lines were oft repeated by everyone involved in the play, especially for the last couple of weeks before the performance.
Macbeth hath definitely murdered sleep.
When nobody in Macbeth was sleeping anymore.
Not even the dead people. That's depressing.
Easily the semester of my 8 when I got the least sleep.
That was my first semester at PHC, so it was not the best introduction to college life.
We're sorry, Kirby. You were such a good Macduff.
You were so
You
good.
It was such a good experience.
He's recovered and tried out for something else now, so it's all right.
Incarnadine. It was so difficult to me to say incarnadine.
You are always trying to stick another syllable in there.
I
And
believe the rhetorical name for that is proparallipsis, where you try to add an extra syllable in. So at least there was a rhetorical figure for the mistake.
I'm
Trying to add a
amazed
syllable.
we avoided getting blood like all over the costumes. We would have little spots
that
here
credit
and
goes to
there.
Mandy, probably,
Yeah.
and the actors. Some did wind up on the curtains.
Yeah.
A fair amount wound up in the curtains, actually, and was there for the next play, I think.
Yeah. You know, I love the kind of rattling door noise.
Yeah, there it is on
in the back end.
That-
Of this,
That was Carter's idea,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
yeah, David Carver.
What was he
creepy.
rattling?
The little closet door in the back. It's an
Oh,
idea
yeah.
from one of the Thief games, and oh gosh, it's scary.
Oh, the blue bottle.
Did
yeah.
we actually had water in that thing?
I love this scene.
I insisted that there be water in that thing, I think. And as you can see, it shows up and it makes a difference. In fact, it's considerably more funny with water.
Yeah.
The blue
yes.
bottle is one of the few props that we had all the way through all through the practices.
I had trouble with this scene, actually. It's not that many lines, but every one of them needs to be thoroughly massaged. And I was just doing very badly, so one night everybody was rehearsing outside for some reason, I think, and I just sort of like flopped myself on some chairs and spent about half an hour working this up.
The audience liked
Just
it.
pushing it higher and higher. And I don't know if actually any of them could see me
They can
during
see the
this scene.
hands.
They could see the bottle probably
it was
waving in the
really
wind.
almost probably funnier me sitting in the back just watching the hands wave back and forth.
And the bottom.
We also had trouble getting the knocking down. I think it was just a couple nights before performance. We got a couple of pieces of wood backstage, and I would just sit there slamming him down as hard as I could. I was always hoping that he would respond quicker than he did, but by the end of the knocking, I was quite worn out with it.
I'm sorry, I made you work to get in that door.
Oh dear, work. I mean,
I did appreciate how good the cast and crew all were about doing whatever was needed. They didn't complain.
I mean,
They were
every
amazing.
Eden Troupe play is hard and takes a whole lot out of people, but I think this play, just for some reason, maybe for spiritual reasons, who knows, was just that much more exhausting and draining on everyone involved.
It was so intense when you really played into it because it's such a the conflict of the play itself is, as we played it, is so intense that when you really get into it, it's wearying.
I think, did we get started late this semester on the play?
This semester?
This semester. I know we did on Pride and Prejudice, but
Well, not really. We'd been planning over the summer to do a play.
I love that catch. That catch right there.
see, I tell you, the water's funny.
It was, let's see, it was at that Eden Troupe board meeting when
Yeah.
we threw
It was a
around
couple
3
weeks
or
in.
4 plays.
When we decided to do Macbeth.
We actually thought about doing Cymbeline, and then we sat down and read it.
We sat down and
decided-
spent the whole of a Sunday evening, I think,
did
reading
it.
We
Cymbeline.
wasted a Sunday evening.
A test readership of Cymbeline.
Exactly.
Decided it was absolutely worth it.
It was appalling.
It really
So we're
was.
just like, oh, okay, we can't do this body horribleness. We'll do Macbeth.
I'm still not sure why Macbeth
'Cause
wound
it's
up
clean.
as the
Just everyone dies.
default play, but it really
it's
did.
because this is the play I dreamed of directing ever since I was like 13 years old. So
I had really liked it ever since I saw a high school production of it, back when I was in high school. Not that high school, a different high school. And it was great, but I never quite knew how it ended because the fire alarm went off halfway through the second to last scene, and they never turned it off again. The show went on, but I had no idea what was going on. They brought in this wild, I suppose it was supposed to be a head, and sort of waved it and ran around for a while, and then it was over.
David's such a trooper for this.
That was amazing.
Oh man.
Ben, you were really far too convincing as a drunk right here. I couldn't tell the difference.
Okay.
I
that
was
actually-
so glad
That's
we wound
that's
up
good.
with
You know,
That's
that.
positive.
Weren't you supposed to come on without your belt on? You were supposed to be in your pajamas.
Close enough.
He didn't
The
have
cloak
his
is
cloak.
Just been murdering people. Maybe he wants
He's
a
been
belt.
sleeping under the cloak rather than wearing it. That's pretty much your Scottish pajamas.
Maybe they made their cloaks out of pajama material too.
Or they
Speaking
made
of-
their
They just-
pajamas
they
out of
just
cloak material.
Know the difference.
Speaking of Scottish clothing, I just have to say, I think we were all very grateful that we were not required to wear kilts.
Yeah.
And Jonathan and I were also very thankful not to be wearing vests and tutus.
There is that.
I think this is basically just a question of we couldn't afford kilts.
No,
Essentially.
it's because kilts are not historically accurate. So there.
Yeah.
And also the pants
We
were
couldn't
already
afford
made
kills. We had the pants.
from Much Ado.
What you do about nothing.
That's right. I sewed them.
And I think we had all these.
That's right. Sewed through notes of the previous owners.
I had my own, I believe.
Well, they fit.
They did.
They were made to measure.
I had traded mine out for a monk's robe by this time, being a great deal more sanctified than my previous role as Dogberry.
Paul
Yahoo!
Shippey had worn that robe the year previous,
Yeah.
I
I
think.
couldn't believe it fit you. I really thought we were going to have to make another robe.
And it's actually been worn since. It was used in Cyrano too.
That's true. We believe
Yeah.
in getting full use out
I'm
of
a
our
fellow much
costumes.
taller than myself, so
This-
I don't know how that
This
works.
whole series of scenes ended up being funnier, I think, than we meant it to be. This was kind of one of those catharsis moments the audience just had to laugh. with
It
all
doesn't
the
take away
craziness
from the
going
drama,
on.
though. It really doesn't. I don't
No,
think.
because it's still powerful.
But we
But
did dramatically
there's
reblock
release.
it very late in the...
We did.
Did we?
We
Yeah.
never.
Yeah.
I hated
Lady
this bell
Macbeth.
sound we got. It was not the sound I was looking for, but oh well.
Yes. Good job, Rachel.
She at least was wearing her wimple.
She was cast a bit late, actually, too, after we decided that Hecate and the Gentlewoman could not be double cast,
They really couldn't.
which was a good
Since
plan.
we were doing so much with double casting the witches on purpose, it would have just destroyed everything. Yes, our initial blocking had Lady Macbeth be much, much funnier.
I almost did try to get some of that water down her throat. Usually succeeded.
You're me. I'm glad we didn't actually drown her. Got pretty close. A couple of those nights. We were having such trouble with this scene, getting everyone to actually stand in a way so it didn't look like they were just standing in a line.
Yeah.
I love how the Thane, we had the Thanes come on with their belts but no cloaks, for the most part, as if they were ready to fight. And then we had the princes come on with their cloaks but not their belts. Like they were very conscious of
How
their
they
status.
looked.
This part right here where Ben, we had to work a lot with Ben
my
Guthrie to
word,
get
it
him to
took
actually
so
like
long.
run across the stage there.
Yeah.
He got it, though,
Finally
eventually.
wrestled back.
Yeah.
Eventually he got it.
Yep. I was pleased with how this scene finally turned out. We worked hard on it.
It's all over the stage, but you can really
It's a lot of
pretty much
yelling.
follow.
I'm not a whip. Don't yell at me.
And you get that
Yeah.
close-up face conflict between you two that comes up again
Yeah.
and really gets
Kind of
played
get
out
the rivalry right
later
off.
as well. There's some nice blocking in that.
I always knew I didn't like him.
Now, what about these other swords? We bought the two good workable
we bought
stage
the
swords.
2 workable stage swords. A few of them were made by Jed Estrada, Jordan Estrada's
You
little
can see them
brother.
here. They're like, what are they? Just
Little
aluminum.
aluminum
swords-
sticks,
There's
basically.
aluminum sticks and
We-
electricity.
Those
Silver
are what we
swords
use.
that
Those
we
are what
even
we
use
used for most of our original sword fight practice scenes.
I
And
hit you
they held
upside
up
the head with one of
ridiculously.
those, and then you knocked my glasses off.
Gave you a nice scratch.
Oh,
on
it was,
the
it was
side.
amazing. It
Oh, I
looked
remember
beautiful
that.
for about a day.
We
Oh, I
both had
remember
bloody
that.
knuckles and all kinds of fun stuff.
I was very
There was real
sensitive
blood involved in this
to
one.
real blood at all times after the
It seems that the
initial
fake blood
stabbing.
actually hurt them a bit more overall.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
I think that was something. There was a time when we were discussing, which sword was mine, which was yours, and somebody asked about this. You actually keep track? And I was like, well, yeah, the one with my blood on it is his, and his is mine.
We did not spill that much blood. There was your one thing with the leg, which really was kind of
But
miraculous.
compared
That was,
to every other Eden troop, there was a whole heck of a lot of blood.
And really, even like when I got stabbed, I was surprised at how little it bled. There really was
There
almost
was-
nothing.
there
It was
almost
just
no
in the
blood.
right spot
Thankfully,
in the
it
muscle.
missed
it
all
was
the
like
major.
the best
things
spot
that
on
it
one
was.
body to be stabbed, I think.
It really was.
It goes in half an inch, it hits the bone, it comes right back out. Nothing gets
No
in.
Maybe a
major
little
damage.
over half an inch.
Yeah, if it had just been a
Territory.
little bit lower or a little bit to the right or to the left, it could have been bad.
I would just like to commend Paul David at this point. We worked so hard to get him to
Our
stand
Italian
straight,
Scottish thing.
to stand still and stand straight, and he worked so hard at it, and I think he got it.
So many times we'd hear, "I'm an Italian. I can't talk without moving my arms."
We're Scottish now.
Aw, brotherly hug.
We do like the way the cloaks move, even if they are pajama material.
The cloaks came out really nicely.
They took a lot of work to get right. I'm given to understand that there was much effort to make sure that the patterns actually match up.
Oh, yes, good old Gabby.
Gabby was
Hurrah
amazing.
for Gabby.
Yeah.
Our costume mistress.
I don't know how she put in the time to get the costumes good, but she did.
All right, look, here's
This
Ross
scene
again.
is
Has anybody
fantastic.
died? I don't think anybody's died.
Not yet.
Well, the king
He's just
died.
talking
But there's
to
a
the
lot of
priest.
really weird stuff going on. That almost counts, right? There were
Ooh,
those
we should-
horses.
Well, there is. There's
That's
horses
true.
eating each other, sure.
Yeah, there are all these uncanny Unco things happening.
Yeah. I liked our conception of Ross. In a lot of the productions of Macbeth, he's kind of the evil, duplicitous on one side and then the other kind of guy. And we just wanted to paint him kind of like Macduff, just pure of heart and wanting to see, the good win in the end. And
He really comes out being on the good side, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way Caleb Jones played him. He just
Yes.
really did a great job with that.
yeah.
He's a good actor.
You can see Caleb was sick this week. Nathan was sick. I was sick.
I actually enjoyed working with Caleb. When you're the head of all evil, you got to take the little pleasures where you can get them. He was like a little blip of light between him and Kirby. When I ran into them at the very beginning of the play, it was very encouraging. They were good, solid things.
We could discuss the priest costume.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got my rosary there hanging from his belt.
we have a Christmas ornament that I think originally belonged to my sister.
For the cross around his neck.
Yeah.
We promised him in the beginning a silver crucifix if he would be the priest. I remember begging him at the dinner table. He
It was a bribe of sorts.
he never did get the silver crucifix.
I'm
But
sorry, I honestly wasn't quite clear on the distinction between a cross and a crucifix.
I
at
did
the
buy
time
him a
we said
rosary
that.
that year. I did.
I was clarifying.
The rosary came out really nicely in this. I get to use it later. And, again, just partly as to get in character, partly in spiritual support. I was backstage through, I think, all 3 nights. Spent quite a bit of my time backstage actually praying for everyone on the cast and crew, just sort of cycling through everybody and thinking, just trying to pray for each person.
That
Do my
play,
priestly duty.
We needed it.
That play was
It
covered
needed
with
it.
prayer. It did need it. I remember immediately after we accepted to do Macbeth, Maggie, you and I walked around the circle and prayed for it.
Mhm.
That's how we started.
Well, it is considered the unlucky play. There are many persons in Hollywood who will walk off the set of a production and not come back if you say the word Macbeth. It is the Scottish play.
We named it quite a lot, I think.
Hurrah for St. Peter's Episcopal Church and their chairs, which they lent us
Yes.
for our thrones.
They were beautiful.
Even if one of them had a crack in it, which I don't think we improved.
No.
We didn't
We
invent the crack.
We did not cause the crack, contrary to popular St. Peter's lore. But
It's worse now.
yeah.
I thought they fixed it. I'm sure they tried to fix it.
They tried.
Anyhow.
It's kind of fixed.
There's sort of the irony here of this Trinity symbol on the chairs, which is mirrored on
Yeah. I wanted at
Macduff's
first.
shield, actually.
I wanted at first to do our church's bishop's chair, which is much bigger and kind of grander looking, for Macbeth's throne, and then have one of the little smaller chairs for Lady Macbeth. But the bishop's chair has a huge cross on it, and I decided that just wasn't quite the right symbol we wanted.
And really, the way their character lines are crossing about the time they're sitting on the thrones, the equal thrones work out kind of nicely.
They do.
And then, of course, she takes his chair, and yeah, that's coming.
I really liked the just the subplots that we were able to put in of like the conflicting loyalties of the Thanes. The scene before this one where we have Macduff and Ross kind of discussing how they're going to relate to the new regime I thought was really, really cool. Nathan deciding to be a rebel right off, and then Ross deciding to hold out for a little while longer.
We did a lot of work on getting the right attitudes for that one. It was really a lot harder to figure out than you would initially think it to be.
Good old Banquo puts that protective hand up in front of his son.
Well, Macbeth was being pretty weird. He didn't think anything of it at first, but it was getting pretty weird.
Does Banquo
that
suspect
discussion.
by this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or he's just really kind of a dope.
The crowns. Oh. Well, it'll come up in a moment.
The sizes of the crowns were interesting because they had to each fit on multiple heads, and so consequently it was a one-size-fits-all sort of problem actually.
There were, in fact,
With a metal
just
band.
the 2 crowns that had to be juggled around, just like there were the 2 good swords, and then...
Here we are. I bent that darn thing one night, and it would not go back on. I had to literally straighten it out without people noticing. Very frustrating.
We at first in the scene we had him actually kicking a throne over, but we decided once we had
No.
those chairs that was not going to work.
It was really cool watching you
Yeah,
kick
in
her with a
rehearsal
chair,
it was
but
quite fun, and I'm sure it was cathartic for all concerned. But
Yeah,
But
I
the-
think just wandering around with the crown was effective.
and I guess we decided not to have him throw the crown either, because it would kind of bounce.
it was sort of
places.
springy.
It
You could have a lot
bounces.
of fun with those crowns, actually.
Did we think about having the Weird Sisters in this scene, and we decided not?
Was
to
there a
bring them
theme? Was there a scene we did not think about having them
in?
in?
Yeah,
I think they probably were in here for a while.
yeah.
But
We
it's
figured
just
we
such a
didn't wanna
long
overdo it.
monologue, and they have trouble, finding things to do when they didn't have dialogue.
What
Too
am I
much
saying
stage.
here again?
You're deciding to kill Banquo?
I really was scum, wasn't I? Yeah, there we go.
Increasingly.
Straight from the depths of Lake Bob.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
that's a bit much.
That's low.
Yeah, demonic, murderous, whatever, fine.
I
But
loved
like,
them in their cloaks. Those staves were so cool.
I don't think they could probably see a thing in those cloaks,
No.
but all you can see is their mouths, and it's
Yeah.
really
Kind
terrifying.
of got like the
Creepy.
whole mouth of Sauron thing going on there.
It's pretty Sith, actually.
And we were kind of wondering whether the audience would get the fact that Macbeth doesn't recognize them as the witches, but I think with the cloaks over the faces it worked. There was
I think it's
some
fairly
debate
clear.
there, if I remember correctly.
Emily Holmes, I think, insisted on these quarterstaves.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a good
Yeah,
call.
those were
It was a
awesome
good
things.
call.
Yeah.
I remember the day they came, they had to test it just a tiny bit in the main entryway of Founders.
There was much excitement.
Clack.
There was much excitement.
Yes. And I mean, for a little while, the staves and the little dinky aluminum swords were the only things we had to practice with, because I ordered the swords we needed later than I should have, and they were out of stock at this one place. I had to desperately call and find another place who had them, who could get them to us in time, and they actually did come finally. I think the Saturday before the performance was the first day we had the actual
We have
swords.
1 week to practice with these.
We had
Yeah.
less than a week to practice with the actual swords.
Macbeth and Macduff practiced tirely with those. They snatched every moment. I remember coming out and walking along between Dorm 5 and Dorm 1 and seeing them right about dusk, right before dinner, going at it. And I don't know if they saw me or not, but they just kept right on practicing, and it was so cool to watch. Do you remember that night?
I
Did
think
you
we saw
see
Yeah.
me?
we saw you afterwards.
Okay.
Not like it wasn't fun or
No.
anything.
Now express what's going on here in the scene. The audience could probably catch it, but
I'm hiring them to kill Banquo.
well, yeah, but like, what's the interaction between you and them? I think we worked on that for a while.
They were kind of chasing him around. They were in power and he was not.
Yeah.
And you get the sense that even though these are kind of, they're kind of witches in disguise or possessing these murderers' bodies. He's hiring them, but it was their idea. And you kind of get the idea that the goddess witch demon being that these witches are just hungry for more blood at this point, and having observed Macbeth's kind of moral weakness as far as Banquo goes, they're gonna swoop in and take advantage of that. Our conception of the witches actually was of an actual Celtic goddess,
The Morrigan.
which we didn't mention before. It's the battle goddess of Ireland and Scotland and parts of France, and she actually is like a trinity, a pagan trinity. She has 3 kind of separate beings, which are what are their names?
Macha, Bab, and
Niman.
Yeah.
However you pronounce that.
They make kind of an interesting, almost nicened up appearance in the Lloyd Alexander Black Cauldron series.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, one of the ways that Trinity is different from the true Trinity is that they have separation of persons but mix up the essences. It's very weird. Get some things right and so many other things so terribly wrong. Besides being creepy and evil.
So it was just one of the huge things we had to deal with in this play, having such an obvious presence of the anti-Trinity and so little presence of the real Trinity. We had to milk all the good parts for all they were worth.
As I said, I seemed tremendously outnumbered through the course of the play. And the priest is so obviously human and just sort of groping for the right thing to say and right thing to do at any given time. And the witches seem so in control and have all this obvious spiritual power behind them.
You do have one huge advantage, aside from the fact that God's on your side. You're not insane.
I'm one of the few characters in this play who's not.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. She sits in his throne.
Who's been
And
sitting
the
in
porter
one
knows.
chair?
The porter notices.
Oh, the porter knows everything. Come on.
I know.
That porter became quite a very good utility character.
But the porter never does anything about it. He just sees and sort of moves on and grabs what he can.
Drinks his way into a stupor.
I think there's some sort of arc going on with him, because he turns up again at the very end.
Of course he has an arc, Ben. He was your character.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'd probably take credit for the whole thing, though. He gets a little bit more serious.
I love the way she polishes her dagger. It was partly just for stagecraft to give her something to do, but I think it very...
I had to do something with the hands, so...
Yeah, well, just as
That's
far
what I
as,
did.
like, daggers and swords usually represent kind of a masculine power and authority.
And she gives him the sheath.
We totally have a power struggle going on with the dagger and the sheath. It's really quite interesting.
Yes. In fact, in rehearsals, it was often tempting not to listen to what they said, but to watch what they were doing with the daggers.
I had Ben and Emily flirting at me with pointy objects. It was not pleasant.
This was the most frightening scene for me of the whole play. Not the witches, but this scene.
This is the X, where Macbeth finally takes mastery over his wife, but just in a brutal fashion
Beating
that
rather than cringing.
disgusted everyone who watched.
Oh, sweetie. You're really
And-
going to wish you hadn't done that.
Yeah. I mean, we practiced this physical interaction for a long time with these other chairs that were not high-backed, and it must have been a lot harder doing the choreography if they...
You're so awful.
I had to work at keeping that hand moving. It was very unnatural.
Let me sit a little farther away from
It took you a long time to get that good, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And we would say, no, you have to flirt with that hand that way, not that way.
I know.
Flirting with daggers.
Daggers mid
Well,
smiles.
keep the hand moving, up and down the arm and through the hair. And the whole works. Ah, ah.
At least she's still got the handkerchief to play with.
Yeah.
You didn't actually see how this looked, did you?
No, I didn't.
There's a shoulder in the way.
That is why I creeped out every time you did the scene. Every time.
I didn't know it looked like
I
that.
thought it was pretty cool, but
It was brilliant, but wow, it was creepy.
and let it be said, this was Emily's idea. It was.
Was it Emily's idea?
Yes, we
Well,
were trying to
kind of.
figure out ways to represent kind of the sexual crossroads that was going on there, and she just finally stood up, kind of frustrated with how things were going. She says, "Do you just want him to kiss me?"
Yes.
And
she
we were
looks
like,
at,
I think we were all thinking
she
it by
looks
that
at me
point.
and she
but-
goes, "You think that we need to have a stage kiss," and I had to admit that it was the case because I had been saying all along that we didn't want to stage kiss because we didn't.
She complained vituperously about my beard. Apparently, it felt like a sea urchin.
Well, it looked like. Anyway.
Okay,
I
you're
don't
not
think-
seeing this, but I'm
okay.
kidding, Ben.
This
Less
is freaky
purple, less
too.
purple than the sea urchin.
Don't miss the freakiness.
He
of
drags
this.
her out.
He
and
drags
Yeah,
her off.
the
Yes.
exact opposite blocking of the earlier scene.
Yes.
I don't quite think
That
the
was
audience
nicely
knew
done.
what to do.
And
with
the
that
audience
scene.
likes it.
I mean, some of them laughed, some
Well,
of
they
them
don't
just
like
gasped.
it.
It's just weird.
But it's so effective.
They never knew how to respond to that. They were all grossed out. Some of them thought they should, like, hoot or something, but...
There were a lot of scenes the audience really
You
didn't know how
can't
to
cheer for that kind of stage kiss.
Yeah.
One last note. Every single night of production, some prominent member of the college was sitting center stage.
Of course.
I think for this night, it was the entire Ferris family. Yeah.
Oh, and then there's the mystery of the third murderer.
Yes, we decided, you know, everyone goes on and on about who's the third murderer. Is it Ross? Is it Macbeth? Is it somebody else? And I was like, you know, there are 3 witches. Why can't we just have the 3 witches be the 3 murderers and just kind of have that unity of evil?
Because the witches are kind of in on it together anyway.
And it just seemed to make things a whole lot simpler. Maybe too black and white, I don't know, but I liked it. I love these lines. I would repeat these lines to myself walking home, like, as the sun was setting. I don't know what that says about me at that point in my life.
We were quoting Macbeth in our sleep. Not to mention all
So
our
nasty.
I love this fight.
Well, this took me a long time to edit, but I like the way it came out.
Yeah. Emily Holmes,
It's really good.
yeah,
This was
was
an
the
amazing
choreographer
walk.
for this.
And she's chasing after him, and he has a sword, and she doesn't have anything.
He's
But
15 years old.
That's still freaky.
Ow, ow.
This is
It's brutal. It's lovely and brutal.
And yes, holding a
He
quarterstaff
just
to someone's
looks
head
down.
is like holding a gun to their head.
Ugh. And he just goes no.
I'll be remiss
Emily
if I miss
Holmes
the
had a
blood
lovely
in that scene.
time choreographing that.
She was so happy. She was like, I get to kill Scott? Yay, I get to kill Scott! I think they've become better friends since then.
I think the witches creeped out Scott. I just got that
They did.
impression.
He was always creeped out by them.
Well, as it should be. We didn't want them to be happy witches.
The witches
All right.
did not creep me out to the degree that Macbeth did.
Oh,
That is intermission. Right in the middle of an act.
But it gave us a good opportunity to set up for the next scene.
Yeah.
And we're back and everything is red.
And breaking it where we did gave us the opportunity to get that table and everything else on scene without lots of knocking around in the dark.
Food, specifically the food,
I
which
was-
everyone was very appreciative of.
I would
Especially
also
when we
just
ate it backstage afterwards.
Somebody, probably Kirsten or somebody
those
once
those
said,
grapes sustain me.
can we save the food and use the food, you know, night after night? And everybody else was just like, no.
look at that beautiful pitcher and cup set. The cups started life as red plastic, but our wonderful props mistress spray painted them.
Yeah. And that nice matte black spray paint we got for the
Flaked,
picture and
flaked over everything. I wonder to this day why I drank out of those cups.
Yes, but it looked really
Took 10
good.
years off
And
your
the
life, I'm
initial
sure.
blue and green plastic did not look good.
This is
little
very true.
aluminum in your skin, blood.
Was that one of the Liberty Ball pictures?
No, it was
No.
from Ideal Husband. Ideal
Okay.
Husband,
I think David was always starving by this point in the performance.
Everyone was
and
starving.
You see him just shoveling down whatever's in front of him.
It added to the verisimilitude.
And as soon as they came backstage, the rest of us went at it.
None of that was figured out, I don't think, until like the last couple of weeks, and so I actually never saw it from in front of stage, and everybody would be laughing uproariously, and I'd be sitting backstage wondering what in the world was going on there.
And why is it so funny?
Yes, some of the scenes got blocked later than others.
Just the little things are
We had-
amazing in this scene.
Just bread and grapes up there, right?
That's all.
I always wanted to have a chicken, but we never got the chicken.
Our fingers would have gotten real
It would have
messy.
been
by
real
then.
messy real fast. I love the Lady Macbeth as the hostess in this scene.
This is kind of her trying to retake command, and it doesn't really work. It kind of blows up in her face.
Kind of.
We almost feel sorry for her because Macbeth is spiraling so far down so fast.
He's embarrassing her.
He really is.
Exactly, and you can't get any worse than that. I mean, you drag me around, pitch me off the stage, whatever, but for heaven's sakes, don't embarrass me in front of the guests.
And if we'll notice, Macbeth's seat is no longer empty.
That was
Really
an
well done.
idea that we did get from the Renaissance Fair. They
Renaissance
had
Fair.
Banquo just sort of show up at the table, and none of us watching had seen him arrive. That
It
gave
was
us the idea.
Quite freakish.
Way Alyssa's head is nice. I hadn't seen that.
Oh yeah, he fixed
It's like it's not even attached or something.
It was very freaky.
That was probably the best makeup blood job, was Banquo's throat.
Good old nearly headless Scott. Sorry.
My
I
lord
love
is
that. It's
often
just like
blessed.
He's just
Banquo
cowering.
and then Macbeth.
You
kinda-
can tell she's reaching when she says that.
Yeah. Thanks for the vote of confidence, dear.
And we're
The
back to
crown's
cringing.
crooked.
Well, when someone dead shows up in your chair,
He's not so much cringing at her, though.
No,
this
not at
time.
her. Not at her. And he just stands there. Ah, he looks like a vampire. It's crawling.
We stopped short of him actually like running her into him. We kind of figured that wouldn't work.
she'd have to wonder.
Awkward.
Meanwhile, the Thanes were like,
Well, the food's good.
Did you see that sky today? Talk about blue.
How about them Dodgers?
Dodgers,
see the
that,
red.
That would
Red
be
is
a
the red.
team in the caber toss.
the opposing team in the favorite toss.
Dodge the caber.
The losing team.
I love this. Yeah. Moving on.
I really like this preponderance of red. It's just some bolts of red cloth draped over our standard. That's probably the fireplace from previous plays,
Yeah, I think
actually.
it is.
I think it is.
And later plays, in fact. In fact, almost all of our plays.
At this point, I'm trying to help. Cheer up, guys. It's not as bad as all that. Plenty of kings are crazy.
I'm the only one seeing dead people, so we're good.
And the partner
Craze.
sees
Look, there's.
everything.
Would he live here? Famous last words.
Don't say it.
So sincere.
Careful what you wish for.
I did actually put water in these cups, which I'm glad of. Water
Yeah.
is just a good thing,
David.
as I say.
That was a good moment.
I think there was a point where David actually like
I think he was
fell
actually startled.
backwards out of his seat.
Well, Macbeth
Started
is pretty
getting
much
run
jumping
over by
over his
some
lap,
bad
you know, just crawling over.
To Carver, I'm sorry.
He's like, oh, that's great.
And you didn't say the Russian rug and bear.
That's true.
I will never live that down.
The Russian Rugged Bear?
The Russian Rugged Bear and the Incarnadine. Those are kind of.
Oh, the
kinda
Incarnadine
like
made it in.
soldiers
but-
be he, and you just wonder how many tokens.
Like, we've got swords drawn and...
Or geese,
Well,
sir.
that ruins the evening.
Geese, sir. That was another classic moment.
I Am Her Sister is still the best one, but not from this play. We'll get to that.
I look like the little half smile Ross gave at that point. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we really appreciate the food, though, Macbeth.
If you could stay home next time.
Appetizers
Wait.
down the drain. We had a whole roast pig back there.
They're like, yeah, the guy with the sword.
Nothing to ruin a nice meal like crazy guys seeing dead people.
I really like how heavy those swords were.
Yeah, they really were.
Yes.
Excellent.
Fine.
I think dinner parties are just about one of the most
Like, when you grab
tension-laden
some
things
food
you can have.
before you leave.
Everybody grabs the food. I love this. This is so great.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
The audience claps.
I never
They were all
noticed
coming
stayed behind
backstage
that long.
congratulating each other. I really wasn't sure what was going on.
It's like the red reflection on all the cups and everything. It's just red everywhere. Really like it.
This is the person who's been spending 2 years editing this thing, so he notices.
Sees a lot.
It's been a little while.
It has been 2 years, hasn't it? Wow.
Paranoia.
I wish we'd had an extra day or two to practice with the cameras. I drafted these camera people absolutely last minute. And considering
It's kind of the
they
rule
really
for
did
this
okay.
They really
They
did.
really did okay.
And look, Lady Macbeth is even wearing red in this scene.
Mhm.
We had her red robe be her royal robe, and if you noticed, the gold robe was a much rougher and peasantier look. Like she would have been a Thane's wife, a lady. But there's a difference between a lady and a queen.
It's the same blue underneath, though, isn't it?
It is the same blue underneath. Made costume changes much easier. And a different belt, I believe.
Now, when did we make the decision to actually set the next scene with the witches in this same location?
It was pretty late in the game. The thing is that we had this scene, and it just seemed like such a lot of trouble to have just this scene and then get everything off stage, and
There's
then
so
have an
many
empty
blackouts.
scene with the witches,
So
and
many
then
blackouts.
have to put stuff back on for the theme with the Thanes.
Yeah.
Just no.
So
And with them eating after, that it was
Yeah.
just very effective.
It was very creepy.
it was pretty last minute, but I thought
drum.
it really worked.
They don't actually eat anything, do they? They just sort of look at this
No.
stuff. Yeah.
And it
Wow.
helps that she came in and put the dagger there because then it was on stage.
It's
for the morals
corporealized.
to deal
Yeah.
with.
And here's Hecate.
We spent hours and
Ooh.
hours conceptualizing her.
She was such a nice
That was
person.
really amazing.
She never scared me until that night, and then I saw her in makeup and
Yeah.
Okay, this
Yeah.
stance was the result of 5 minutes coaching last minute. We should have done it so much earlier in the play, but she just picked it up immediately when we bothered to coach her.
It's like, hey, we should do something about Hecate because it's the night after dress rehearsal. And,
Something like that, yeah. Yes, she is. If the witches are the blasted heath, Hecate is the twisted roots and the maggots underneath. That was what we were thinking. She's
the
something
swamp.
deeper,
Yeah.
deeper and older and creepier.
And
Wetter.
since in Celtic kind of theology, I guess, the bogs are where you sacrificed people. You threw them in. I kind of wanted that skull around her neck to be like a human skull, but we weren't really.
Shrunken would have been good, but,
Yeah.
you know.
But even the witches fear her.
And
For
when the
she's
witches cringe
older
at
than
is
older than they.
seriously.
We put
But I really,
how many ounces of gel in that hair?
yeah. I really liked how the witches were able to use the furniture in this scene. It's just kind of,
It helped.
yeah.
if you look at Hekate's makeup, we actually drew kind of fish-like veins on her. She was sort of painted pale and then drawn on top of in green and black. And
The third night was the best. You see it sometimes more than others because I'm editing from the second and the third nights. But
It looked really impressive that last night, especially up close. It was scary.
she doesn't look at all like her real self.
No, she does not.
At all.
we kept a little bit of black food coloring backstage that
And
she
she
would
would put it in her
stuff it into her,
kimchi
into her
tongue.
mouth
Yeah.
just before she went on.
Cool.
And, oh.
She actually sat backstage with a
Great.
towel on her lap to keep the makeup off her dress. That was a last-ditch effort to regain dignity.
Nice try.
And then we've got this
Yes.
great.
And
little
this scene works so well.
Yeah, we could not figure out what to do with this scene for the longest time, and I think just kind of the tone of this interaction was it David's idea? It was one of these two guys who had the idea of just
If they were being overheard part of the time, it would explain things.
of saying one thing for the public ear and then another thing for the private ear.
I have too much fun with these glasses. I'm sorry. I'm just
What were you even doing with them?
consolidating.
Mixing a nice little cocktail.
I'm not sure all the dialogue works perfectly with what they're saying and what the
I
context
think-
is, but it works pretty well, and,
Yeah.
and the tone works
Yeah.
perfectly.
I think the timing was a little bit off a couple of the nights.
It
Yeah.
probably was.
But the audience wasn't really listening to every word they said anyway. It was just the overall
Just kind of the
idea.
mood, yeah.
Yeah.
You get the idea that the Thanes are catching on here, so. And that they don't want to be overheard.
Poor Ben, we just said, do it! And wouldn't exactly tell you what to do. And you did it. I was very impressed.
I think I had to mark in the script where I was coming on and where I wasn't, and then I'm sure I forgot at one point or another. Probably that point.
It worked well.
It's a lovely conspiracy.
Conspiracies are fun. They had, it's just, they've got to be having this, range and dynamics between, regular voices and whispering voices, but they have to be loud so that everyone in that awful performing space called Town Hall can actually hear what they're saying.
And
It took them
so,
a long time to...
and so they bumped
Stuck
up the
back.
regular to such a wonderful state of projection that you can still hear the quiet.
Yeah. And a lot of it is voice tone.
Mhm.
You just give that sort of loud, this is me talking loud, whispering voice.
Dagger.
Grapes. I'm
We
sitting
borrowed
behind that
this.
door somewhere.
Just
We
fascinates
borrowed
me.
those silver dishes from someone. Do you remember who they belonged to? Was it Kelly Christelle's family?
Yeah,
I
it was.
think so. And we were adjured multiple times not to scratch them because they were just pewter and very fragile and very valuable. I don't think we messed them up too bad. If we did, we didn't notice.
I love the violin
The
between
music
them.
coming
The
in.
music was nice.
And it helped for this really long, awkward scene change, getting all that
Yes.
junk off.
Was that all Carver's work? All of it, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the lullaby?
The lullaby is actually a Gaelic song that I also gave to him a week and a half in advance, and asked him to put into music so that our violinist could play it for us.
Yeah. The violinist really, and the
Yeah.
speed with which they picked this up and played it.
Paul Moran, I think it was.
Jessica
Yes.
Run. Well,
Jessica Run.
Jessica Run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think they got Jessica Runt got the music for this and for the other piece like a week in advance. That was it. That was all the time she got.
We put one or both of the Daniels on recorders.
Yeah, and then we had Kenny on the drums for some parts of it.
Yeah.
It was nice. Speaking of which,
Boom, drums in the deep.
The cauldron.
Oh, that cauldron.
Ooh.
We worked so hard on getting that thing to work right because
Yeah, it was mostly Scott York's genius, I think, that
Yes.
That put it
figured out
together.
I still think most of the audience never saw it, but
how to get kind of
It's
the
here on
plastic
video.
there on top so that you could pour water in and still see the smoke come out
There
of
are
it.
glow sticks down in the dry ice so that the smoke comes out colored.
It didn't really work till the second night.
Yeah.
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 Kirsten and Scott York had to make 2 trips to buy the dry ice.
there we go.
And they ran into rush hour traffic, and Scott missed his call for hair and makeup, and we were terrified.
But
And we had
they
a,
did return.
did we not have a hot pot going backstage to make sure there was hot water to pour on
I
it?
think
Something
so.
like that, yeah.
It didn't. The smoke didn't last very long, but it did have just a great effect that second night.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then it just floated across the stage, so I don't know how much the audience could see from back there. For those who were near the front, I'm sure it really provided a nice effect.
See, we practiced this scene all year with just a chair, and they just walked around a chair, and then we get to to the performance and have to find a cauldron.
Kay was very proud of that cauldron. It was just a big black tub she found at like Home Depot or something. We had
Kay
really been
deserved to be proud
agonizing
of it.
about where we were going to find something like that, but it ended up just looking perfect on stage.
We thought about having them actually throw various things into the cauldron, but we thought that the hot water was enough.
It did end up being enough.
I
The
wonder how much
drums in the back of this are just.
Shakespeare just knows everything. I don't know how he knows this stuff, but I'm sure there's some veracity behind all this. And
Yeah, I think some people have said that Macbeth is cursed because these things that the witches say are actually like part of some kind of satanic incantation used back in the 17th, 15th century, 16th century, but I don't know. I did read an article that kind of prompted or confirmed my idea about the spiritual battle kind of subtext in this play, that the audience of Macbeth would have seen this in the context of the gunpowder plots, which had happened, I think, 1 or 2 years before, and just kind of the idea of treason being supported by, well, in the case of the gunpowder plot, Catholicism, but in the eyes of the English Protestant, Satanism and demons.
Catholicism equals demons. This makes sense. Sorry, Presbyterian talking.
Those black gloves again.
I love white gloves.
At least we didn't make you wear the milking gloves.
That's true. I was thankful for that.
Notice the little leather frog strap that you were putting the swords into. That was like my last little physical exertion before the performance, was sewing all of those things by hand because it was too thick to use a machine for. Quite fun.
Those things held up very well.
The props for this play tended to be well made. The costumes, the frogs. Either that or held together with duct tape. There was no in between.
the lovely dead bodies.
Yay, Queen of the Dead.
Identified with black spray painted masks, and most of them double cast, and the rest drafted about the week prior to production.
Yeah.
I'm so
Dead
glad
bodies
no
are
one
Russian.
laughed at the Zorro masks. Kay was sure they were going to laugh at them.
Well, the thing was that they didn't quite fit very well, so
Which
that
almost made them look creepy.
you had a
It was-
weird thing going with the eyes.
The
You
eyes,
couldn't really
yeah.
see the eyes through them, so.
You couldn't see anything out of them either. I just kind of guessed at where I was walking.
So yes, we spray painted the masks and the picture.
Oh,
Good little
Oh,
Jim.
Jim.
I love Jim. He was a great.
Jim is
he was a great
amazing. I miss that kid.
He
We-
put up with everything that the rest of y'all did.
trooper. And we got him to project.
He had a louder voice than just about
The
anybody.
first
else.
few
projecting
rehearsals
better
he
than
did
the
this
rest of
scene,
us.
he did this whole scene in his orc voice, which was
Yeah.
very effective, but just not quite loud enough, so.
That was a great voice.
Because that's determinism.
I love the way Macbeth gets so worked up in every scene.
I also think there was sleep back again. It comes up over and over again, which perhaps should have made me think about getting a little more of it.
Did we send around or read Brooks Lamp's poem?
Yeah,
We did. We read it
did.
aloud.
3 Forms of Insomnia.
Yeah,
I haven't read it in ages, but I vaguely think it's a good poem.
It's a
He
good
won some
poem.
kind of award.
I have it in the Macbeth scrapbook.
Maybe I'll put it on the DVD somewhere.
Oh, and then Hecate just draws him and he colors.
I think we told her, think invisible chains or something like that.
And she thought them.
I love the poetry in this play. I mean, I think I had most of it memorized by the end of the semester. No longer, but
I found it fascinating to just analyze the scansion of it. Most of the play is in iambic pentameter, so there were 5 feet per line, but most of the witches' lines were in 4-foot lines, so they were much shorter, and it had a much sing-songier and incantatory effect. It was just fascinating when I read something that pointed it out, and it's true.
Plus with the rhyme, because they're always rhyming.
Heavy rhyme, yes. There's a lot of rhyme to end off every scene, but other than that, the prosy parts aren't. Yeah, it's beautiful.
they're those evening gowns.
Yeah.
Chainmail. Evening gowns.
I confess I played with the color correction a little bit in this scene. Well, really all the way through, just to make it match, but I went a little bit green here. Low light goes red. And you have to
Handing down the
adjust it,
crown
but-
for the 8 kings.
They worked so hard to time all this perfectly, because this seemed to drag a little bit in rehearsal, but I think they
It still
got
does a little
Yeah,
bit
just a
here and
little.
there, but mostly it's.
I mean,
it's
getting
good.
8 guys on stage and coordinated,
Especially when
and everything,
they're going slowly to act all eerie and everything, and
it's hard, but
because if they speed up, it just kind of ruins it a little
Mm-hmm.
too much. But
Some of my favorite rehearsals were the ones where I had to stand in for all 8 kings.
I wonder what the symbolism of that exit sign in the background is.
I noticed that. I deliberately left it in. I could have painted it out, but I didn't. Because I wanted it there. Because
Why?
painting it out would have cost me 8 hours and hours of trouble.
there's a lot of symbolism that exists.
There's the mirror. I really liked how we had Banquo bring in the last mirror. I mean, be the last one and bring in the mirror.
That was another one of those things we just went on and on about before we decided what exactly we were going to do.
This was one of the most intense scenes. Because you had to go so high and then so low.
And then you have to almost hit somebody, but not.
Yes.
The sword, no less.
I got closer each night. Carver tells me that I inadvertently poked him on the very last night. But it was the sword.
It's a good thing we didn't have one more night.
Well,
because
here,
actually-
see, you actually hit her cloak coming
Yeah.
off there, which I like.
The audience.
Oh, and just where's I'm going to throw the sword out into the midst of them.
This is about the part where Maggie and I would stand at the back of the room and start
Carver's
praying
looking at
for all
this.
we were worth.
Don't kill Carver, don't kill Carver.
I didn't.
This is the scene where Lennox is like, you know, I've really had it with this guy. Just had it. I think he even
Up to here.
he like draws his sword out or half out.
I think he does.
I would too. If you were
I think he wasn't supposed to bring it all the way out, but I think one night he did, and he just kind of had to stand there and like, yeah, I've got.
Is that one of those Civil War swords? It's the Civil War.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Wrapped up the handles with tartan material to make them a
Kind of
little
hope no
more
one would notice.
Scottish.
Yeah, there he's got
Low
it out.
budget, nothing to be done.
He does have his sword out.
But we have 2 decent swords and 2 sticks.
That's right.
The whole point of a sword is that you can beat it against another sword and make cool clangy noises. So there you go. We could do that.
And we could not get the cool clangy noises.
How many
with the
people did you
aluminum
shove off
swords.
stage in this play?
Lots of them. Oh, you're about to see one of the best shoving bits.
Oh, that was great.
Oh man.
Thank you, Lord, for Ben Fenn. He's an amazing guy.
Like a circus.
I've got some good footage
He
of
took
him
it so
flying
well,
off
he
stage.
just-
It's very nice.
Oh, this scene. That wooden sword.
And the blue banners just change everything.
The scene is
They
amazing.
really
Simple,
do.
but it's very different. Also woefully overexposed. I'm really very sorry, but oh well, there it is.
I would
Jim
always
was such
have
a
to sit
trooper.
here and Jim was amazing. I would always have to just sit here and pay as much attention to the scene as I possibly could to try to kind of get in the mood for this one.
Hearing about your own death put you in the mood. Or,
I love the
or
light.
the-
Just kind of acquaint me with my family a bit, since this is actually
Since
the
you were-
only
yeah, you were
since I
never in a
actually never
scene
appeared in the
together.
scene with them.
Yeah.
The whole kid playing with the sword thing works very well.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
I think it
Was it his idea?
He
I think it
probably
was
just
my idea actually.
well, he had to do something.
Yeah. Or maybe it was like so many of the stuff that it was just Carolyn and I just talking about it.
Did he just swipe the sword?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, he just
He just went into the corner and he's like, real sword.
It takes him a couple minutes to get up the courage to pick it up, but
Well, it is cooler than the wooden one.
Yeah.
He's right. He's like, look, I was just giving it to you.
Really, this scene is about Macduff, mostly,
yeah.
and whether he's a traitor or not, and what that means.
there was a lot of debate spawned about that.
What was that baby's
Yeah.
name? Do you remember?
Yes, it turned out to be Duchy Paul Gillichrist Macduff.
Duffy for
Duffy,
sure.
I
Duffy
think is
for
what
sure.
we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, there was some extensive discussion about what to christen the baby, as I recall, and whether
Yes.
the baby was to be christened. Mostly the latter.
Jim was just really good with all that sword stuff.
Yeah,
He was pretty,
he was sitting
pretty
there.
authentic.
Now-
Anne's lack of confidence disturbed me.
She couldn't scream to start with.
That was amazing how
Yeah.
at first she couldn't I had
Yeah.
never heard a girl who couldn't scream the way she couldn't scream, and by the end
Well,
she was amazing. Like she was the
Blood curdling. Shit.
Oh,
man did
oh.
take her out.
Yeah,
and
they
teach
went
her to
out. They went
scream.
out driving,
just
and
by the end I've never heard anybody scream. Like
Mandy
that.
took her driving in order to teach her how to scream.
well, because she needed
Small-
to be
Is
away
that
from
even
people.
legal?
The small
In
enclosed
order to be
space of the car helps,
Yeah.
or something.
And
Probably they
Anne was
screamed out the
terrorizing
windows.
the whole dorm by the end. I understand.
Yes.
It was
Well,
freaky.
I mean, the poor girls who lived upstairs would just hear the most disturbing noises coming from downstairs all semester. Screams and shouts and yeah.
And, no! Kill him now! That sort of thing.
We must thank them. Why? The honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools. For there are liars and swearers now to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Well
Smart
done,
kid,
my young
great line.
Machiavelli.
Great line.
Shakespeare's created that.
If he were dead, you'd weep for him.
Treason
If you would not, it were
What's the
a good
reason?
sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Well, thanks a lot.
I tried to get Jim to
He's
kind
a
of
good
just
kid.
cuddle up to Anne in this scene, and he just
No.
yeah. He's
No.
just at that age, or he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that was
it's-
not gonna happen.
Yeah, which actually I think works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Jim is just like the perfect, 12-year-old boy. He's just.
I always think it's funny that we got Ben Fan,
He was
one
another
of our
person we had
one of
to
our
beg
few
to be
non-white people on campus to play the Way face. But
Yeah.
oh well. Hey, Macbeth is mad. You know what does he know?
He was just trying to insult them. I mean,
I'm sure it was the result of some trade route somewhere.
right.
Yeah. Well, what had we decided that Paul David's mother was a Italian
And
minstrel,
princess.
and yeah, and then she died,
Your
and then
father was a hamster.
and that was when the younger son was born, whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Donald Bain, Malcolm and Donald Bain are half
Oh,
brothers.
wow.
I think.
Yeah.
And here come the
And they just
murderers.
come oozing in through that door.
Ugh.
Eek.
Ugh.
I love Jim's reaction.
Yes!
He's gonna
Yes!
fight for his mom.
Oh yeah.
No place so unsanctified as such as thou mayst find.
See, I'm telling you, she's still standing up for him.
No.
You just killed me, mother. Run away.
And the audience laughs. Yeah, that's screaming.
And then we just had this. See, I hated how the audience would clap, like in between these scenes, especially when they
They
had
have
music,
to.
because I
Yeah.
really loved this
They have
lullaby
to.
that we played afterwards.
And given how violent some of us were, the audience is lucky they lived through some of these productions.
But we still got the
laughing!
audience in.
Well, you know, if that dagger had flown apart
I
at the
know.
wrong moment, yeah.
It was super glued together.
Well, see, I came out for the next scene
Again.
with kind of a chip on my shoulder against the audience there. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
You
there
made
was
him
that
weep.
great
You made him weep.
moment.
You made us weep and we couldn't even
Or is
see
it
you.
a dagger of the mind, or and then as incorporeal as this, which now I draw, and he draws just the hilt, and the blade stays in the sheath. It was a great moment.
It's
Pretty
very
incorporeal.
incorporeal.
yeah. One note about the fight scenes. Aside from the very first night, like, so that'd be 3 out of 4 performances, I was
No,
There were
we
only
we
three
only did
performances.
3
Was
performances.
it only 3?
Yeah.
It was the last play we did just 3 performances
Wow.
for.
My apologies. The last 2 performances, then, I did with a broken shoe. You had to tape it each night.
Yes.
It was not pleasant.
Ah, the ubiquitous bench.
Ah, yes.
So very useful.
Eternal Eden
park
Troop
bench.
bench.
And vines.
Has it been in almost every single Eden Troop play?
Probably.
Probably all of them.
You've got to have something to sit on.
We should like carve on the bottom like all the different plays it's been in here.
Running out of space.
I just edited this scene today and it still doesn't make sense to me exactly. What on earth is going on here with these guys?
We talked and talked and talked about this. Did we ever figure it out?
Kind of.
I had figured it out in my head.
Do tell.
Well, I think more or less is it Macduff is coming to try to get Malcolm to come back and claim the throne, claim his rightful place on the throne. Malcolm is wary because Macbeth has tried to send people to trap him before, and so he's trying to test out Macduff a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
how would you say it?
It's kind of a
And
weird
this-
scene, though.
And this was another of the very few scenes where we did cut lines.
That's true. we had to cut some of Malcolm's there.
Yes, he was describing his evil much too effectually.
Feel the guilt, Kirby.
We'll just rub it in, why don't you?
Oh, we're just
Good feeling.
starting. We'll make it crush so hard your mascara runs.
That's not a joke, people. Actually.
His mascara did run. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not a good
Well,
experience.
Canary was still scraping the mascara off at
It's
dinner
it's okay, man.
afterwards.
Your makeup looks good, actually.
I think this was the play where the next day, and I was sitting in Greek 1, and Dr. Noe asked me if I had makeup on. And I was like, what? No, I washed it off and went back and looked. I still have mascara on. The stuff doesn't come off. I just scrape it off with my fingernails.
I hate that.
It never
Yes.
really bothers me.
I think most of us who have been in some kind of a play now, but have much more sympathy for what girls go through.
You better.
Or incomprehension. Even more than before.
And they put mascara in my beard.
Did they really?
Yes.
Yeah, see, my beard had to go the other direction. I got more of the gray spray paint in the
It was
beard.
silver this year.
It was silver.
It was the
you're right.
silver stuff. It was kind of scary.
It was kind of fun, though.
Yeah, so here's what we were talking about. Malcolm is just trying to convince Macduff, supposedly, that he's not worthy to take the throne. Just to see,
guess
I
it's
think,
kind of,
what Macduff's
testing
reaction
the
is.
The loyalty.
good king versus rightful king
Right.
kind of idea. Like, would you want me king even if I wasn't going to be a good king? Since it is my title.
Right.
But
Sort of
here you
where
get
do you draw
back
the
into the
line?
tension of the hands of the king or the hands of a healer. The assumption is that the rightful king is going to be a good king, and he is going to be health-bringing. I was reading a book about the origins of kind of the Macbeth legend, and apparently that was quite an early development. And so Shakespeare was just picking up on something that already existed when he brought this out.
And then too, there's kind of the patriotism and the wish for good for the country that comes out, because after Malcolm is finished here, Macduff just ends up kind of weeping for his country.
Scotland.
And yeah, he's just crying out for Scotland, and it's then I think that Malcolm kind of lets himself
Relents.
admit that okay, he's sincere.
This isn't about making me king. It's not about getting rid of Macbeth. It's actually about the country, in other words.
The country needs its rightful king.
There's enough women to go around. We can handle this.
Poor Paul David, he hated having his hair this long.
Oh,
Poor
women.
thing. And we actually cut it.
Yeah, we
It
did.
had been longer.
right,
It was kind of
Before.
approaching
Had been
like
longer.
mushroom quantities right before the play, so we did let him cut it.
His hair is one of the wonders of the world.
That's probably two of the wonders of the world. Actually.
9th and 10th.
You kidding, buddy?
Ouch.
I really like the shirt pattern that these are all cut to.
The much ado about nothing shirt pattern.
Yeah, that's the
They
one.
didn't all perfectly fit, but they worked.
Especially once they were lengthened.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby went to heroic lengths to search all of Northern Virginia for fabric that would match the shirts so that they could be long enough.
You can actually observe here in a few scenes where Macbeth's tunic has been lengthened.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
I
it in
know.
the seams.
Such an abrupt about face.
I think
don't know.
Duff should have just like decked him at this point.
Like, oh, now I see reason. Thank you.
Yeah.
Macduff's restraint sort of shows in contrast to Macbeth's treatment of the true king.
We
I only did
really
that once.
Although it would have to be tempting.
we probably could have gotten away with cutting this scene. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot for the characters, but there was just so much in there about what it means to be a good king.
And there's so many great lines. I mean, like, even if you don't know quite exactly what's going on, there are a lot of great lines in there that I just love.
And we just, like, all the different themes we had going in this play, the spiritual warfare, the marriage stuff, the kingship stuff, like, it was really hard to cut anything, just, we wanted to get it all in there.
And Macduff has a goofy grin on his face.
Very nice.
It's hard to reconcile. See, he comes here.
And it's
Changing the
our
subject.
faithful Ross with
Good old
more
Ross.
bad news.
Guess what? Someone's dead.
You both did this scene so well.
It was
It's
amazing.
like going through an emotional ringer every night.
I'm absolutely serious. It was bringing tears to our eyes backstage, and we couldn't see you.
And they had heard this scene like 10 times
Yeah,
beforehand.
but we might have seen it once early on, but the sheer vocal passion of it and just knowing what was going on.
I remember first
Just
discovering
great.
actually that I could actually like make myself cry. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I can
And
make my
you know,
escape
Caleb
run.
can make himself cry too. It's
Yeah.
just-
Oh man.
it
No,
really-
Caleb was amazing to work with in this scene because he just, you know, we could totally feed off of each other, and he almost had me convinced that my family was dead. I mean,
She's well.
Oh,
And
just
all my children?
the agony
Well,
in
too.
this scene.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
that's a hard line to say.
No. They were well at peace when I did leave them. Be not a nigget of thy speech. How goes it? Well, when I came hither to transport these tidings, which I have heavily borne, then I ran a rumor of many worthy fellows
He
about,
changes the subject to the country in general.
which I witnessed the rather for I saw the tyrant's power afoot. But now is the time for help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers who make our women fight to doff their dire distress.
Be it their comfort. We're coming thither. Gracious England
This
has
is
lent us all
when
silver
the
10,000
good
warlike men,
starts to kind of gain
and
some
older than
momentum
better soldier
in this
none
scene.
have Christened themselves out.
It just kind of gets stronger and stronger as the play goes on.
And of
It
course,
sure
it comes
needs
from
it at this
England. Of course, it comes from England.
But I have words that should be held in the desert air with a hearing should have lashed them.
Is that the double balls and treble scepters? Is that an English thing?
Yeah.
I think.
The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
Where was this written historically in the
No mind that's
English
honest man
reigns?
share some woe.
Under
It was-
James the First.
Was it under James?
Yeah,
Who would have
James.
been, of course,
Yeah.
Scottish.
To you alone.
Okay.
If it be mine, keep it not from me.
I love every night watching the audience reaction to this. I remember watching, who was it? Oh, he joined the Marines like
Redman?
this year.
Was it
Yeah.
Redmond?
Radman.
Radman sitting in the back, wiping his eyes. Yes, we made the Marine cry.
Mm-hmm.
I recall there were about 3 girls in the back,
Passing around
and,
the
and,
tissues.
and no one could ever discern whether they were laughing or crying. But it was something.
I know I did see like a group of 3 or 4 girls sitting together one night, and they were passing around a tissue box.
Children's servants, all that could be found. And that must be from thence. My children too? I have said,
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
Really, Deccan.
he has no children. Oh, my pretty ones.
That he has no children. That refers to Macbeth, right?
Yes.
So we discussed this, right?
And yet-
we decide Lady Macbeth.
Had lost a child.
Hmm.
Oh, my pretty chickens in their tavern.
I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
And
she
she
had-
has that line, I have been a mother.
Either is a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were most precious to me.
It's real cheers, folks.
Would not take their part. Sinful Macduff. They were all struck for thee.
And that was where every night until the last night I forgot to say, not that I am.
I'll leave it, I think, on the second night here.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, then rage it.
Malcolm's still a little dense here, I guess.
You really do want to see him get hit in the head.
Oh well.
Just like, what kind of comfort is that?
Macbeth gets all the battle glory later, so.
That's true.
Yeah, given the general character of the people who went
And I finally get to pull my sword.
Yeah.
And if he escape, heaven forgive him too. This tune goes madly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready, and our lack is nothing but our lead. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. The powers above put on their instruments.
Pulling the swords there strikes me as more of a dramatic than practical gesture. Because you can hardly imagine them running clear to Scotland at this point.
It just makes you feel better.
It does.
And at that point, I would always walk backstage. They would hand me a towel to dry my face, and I would start laughing. Because I couldn't believe that the audience had actually bought it.
Macbeth's
Yes.
castle.
Could
this
you
is the
imagine?
scene.
Random
Nighttime.
thought. Could you imagine what the son of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth would be like?
Yeah.
I don't really
Maybe
want to
it
think
would
about
have been
that.
better if they'd had children.
Maybe. This scene is really the
Scottish
one where
homeschooled. Do you really want to see that?
This scene is another one of Christy Somerville's wonders. We kind of had to wash our hands of it at one point. We could not figure out what to do with it. So Christy took Emily under her wing for a little bit and came back and presented us with kind of pretty close to the finished product.
Emily's acting in this scene was amazing.
It was not at
So good.
all what I had been visualizing, but it turned out much better.
Yeah. We weren't quite sure at first whether it was too Ophelia-like, too waif-like and miserable, but it worked. I was always so paranoid she was going to light that cloak on fire.
There's something going on with that cloak and the witch's cloaks. I noticed it earlier too.
Well, aren't they physically the same clothes?
Is it in fact?
No,
Oh, it's not?
it's not.
It looks like the same color.
But it's the way it's over
It
her
falls
face.
the same way that Angelisa's does.
The jewelry was all very deliberate in this play. There's not much of it. But Lady Macbeth always wears big rings.
It's like how many versions of there are her here? 2, 3?
At least.
All sort of arguing with each other.
There's regret and then fear and then kind of her old self.
The brash, angry, yeah.
Didn't we consciously cast it as kind of a Gollum thing?
Mm-hmm.
Gollum and Smeagol.
She's just kind of falling apart.
It's kind of like just pieces of her fragmenting all over the place.
I am sure of this. Heaven knows what she has known. There's not blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
That was an amazing oh.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom. The dignity of the entire body.
Guilt theme really gets very strong by the end of all of this.
Pray God it be so.
This disease is beyond my practice.
This song that she sings right here.
Who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you again.
if you ever want to see Scott York jump, creep up behind him and whisper this song in his ear. He hates it. Still gives him just awful reaction from him. It's kind of the last rejection of forgiveness right there.
Right there.
That bit of that scene just killed me.
You kind of wanted to run after her and tackle her.
Well, I mean, the priest, it's just like, I just failed. I just completely failed in my office. But, you know, I don't have the medicine to deal with this. Spiritually, just lost. It's like the low point for my personal character arc. I don't know. It's probably appropriate that I get to spend all the next scene praying.
I really liked the cowl on that costume.
Me too.
God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from
There's sort of a deliberate turning from the medicinal attempt at healing to the appealing to spiritual strength.
What did that mean? My mind she's made it and amazed my sight. I never understood that one.
Checkmated.
Thank you. 2 years of questioning comes to an end.
We'd always try to time it so that she would blow the candle out and the lights would go out at the same time, but it never quite worked. I think maybe it did work like one night. It actually did happen that way. But
Probably dress rehearsing.
yeah, dress rehearsal.
Note the
Oh,
woad.
Yeah.
They like to do
We're all getting psyched up.
Oh yeah.
Also made from Tide, I think.
Yeah.
Which
No.
Philip, I'm sure,
You poor
appreciates.
guys.
No, the woad wasn't.
Was it?
We got.
I think
No,
like
the woad
actual-
didn't. Yeah,
I
it was
think
actual
the
face
woad was
paint.
just
That was
the
actual
same
face
stuff
paint,
we
yeah.
used on the witches, it's just different color.
Yeah, no, the woad didn't affect our faces, thankfully. Quite like the blood did. I love the different patterns going on. Like, we've all just got...
Oh.
There's a lot of personality expressed
Yeah.
in the different face paint patterns.
That's right. That was fun.
Curry with just like the one big strong stripe across his face.
Yeah.
David was pretty creative with on
Delicate
his
check
face.
marks and yeah.
And
You
I
guys
think
had fun
like
with
we had a hard time with Malcolm's paint, and I think it was the last night I
Yeah.
we finally got it perfect. It was like
It-
a handprint or something,
It
wasn't it?
changes a little bit from night to night, actually.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think it was
Well,
different
it just,
every night.
yeah,
actually.
it kept getting better.
But the
and
first
better.
couple nights it was just too weak and kind of wussy, which
Yeah, if you are paying attention, you'll see the difference.
I thought Lennox
They're-
like
they're both-
considered the sword before he put his hand on it.
Okay.
Well, that fits with Lennox's character. He's
He's
doesn't
the one who
just
hangs around
jump
the
into
longest.
things.
Yeah.
Which means when he actually takes the sword, things have hit rock bottom.
And Kenny is pretty much just banging on the drums non-stop from here on out.
his hands must have been so.
Speed it up just a little bit with each scene.
Well, tonight was good, Kenny, but we need
By
more
the end,
drums
he was
tomorrow.
just going really fast.
Yeah,
Poor
I
Kenny.
think every single night we changed the drums on him.
The drums helped the
Yeah,
energy so
one way or
much. It
another.
was just.
Creep out in the dark.
No more reports. Let them fly all.
Oh, I love this scene.
Till Bernard were removed to Dunsinane, I cannot
This was another of those late blocked scenes.
Yes, this was the night after dress rehearsal.
After dress
seriously?
rehearsal.
Yeah.
I remember having some big hullabaloo about how we were going to do this. It was really complicated.
Tell me this isn't one of the nights where Bale's ad-libbed.
Was there another kind?
There was only one night that I didn't. Last performance.
Yeah, I think this is probably Friday mostly.
Yes.
Is this was it actually during performance when Ben went flying off the stage?
Yeah. I think it was.
Oh,
Yes! You got it out right. Yes.
We reversed that
Yeah,
so
there
badly in
was-
rehearsal.
There was a rehearsal where what was the line?
I inadvertently said,
Soldier's
soldier's
villain.
villain, to which he said, geese, sir.
totally
10,000 of them,
ruined
though.
it for the entire rest of the
Rehearsal, yeah.
play.
We were goners.
That one and the Russian Rug and Bear are ones that it's almost hard to say them the right way now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was always terrified that you, Kirby, would when you were lamenting your wife and children, say, "What, all my pretty chickens and their dam in one swell foop."
I'm glad you never suggested that possibility.
That's always how I accidentally say it when I'm doing that one.
I don't know how I'm kneeling there just like silently praying when he's screaming at all the servants and messengers.
Well, it kind of fits. The man of God is not swayed by outward storms.
Yes, it's Isley.
Yeah!
Isley.
Seton!
This is so great.
It's
And it's
cringing in
this
that
brilliant.
scene is so perfect.
The blocking sets up this brilliant irony because Macbeth is always saying, "Well, kill anybody who's fearful. Oh, you wretched, fearful thing! Get out of my sight!" And he's jumping at everything. It's amazing.
This was just like one long laugh for the audience.
Yeah.
And there were some people who thought that we really made this play too funny.
Yeah, there were.
There were some people who complained about that. Yes.
But
They needed a laugh. They needed a chance to laugh
Yeah.
before.
for the PhD audience, they're going to laugh anyway.
You
So
come to an
you
Eden
need
2
to
play,
give
you
them a good
expect to
reason.
laugh.
this was so fun. It really was.
It was just a glorious scene.
Okay, that was just good.
And it was just like, yeah, the night after dress rehearsal, just standing there really late with Bales and Isley saying, "We've got to figure this out."
I seem to remember being there myself. I
The
think
timing
You were
of the
there.
lines and I wanted to kill you with that.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I recall.
What did you?
Both the directresses wanted to kill me when I said
Gently.
The Princess Bride moments.
Yeah, that was classic.
Thank you.
I really wanted to give you the bad guy's vest from Much Ado, but we wound up having to give you the heroes because it fit better.
That way you didn't end up with the tutu.
Yeah, you want me with an edged weapon right now.
There's so many people on stage. It's really. Oh, this blocking took forever.
Look, he's got a bloody rag in the bowl. He's been seeing Lady Macbeth.
That's actually a pewter cup, I think. Seaton is so pathetic.
Just puts it over.
All of these lines are actually there in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Pull it off.
But we had
Not
to
the
Really,
template.
they don't make a lot of sense just by themselves.
You dropped.
I
the
dropped it in
message-
the-
yeah,
I
you
dropped it in the bloody
message.
bowl.
Oh yes.
Seaton just shakes it off.
It's the king, you know. He stuffs something in your face and you take it. That's a funny line from the priest, actually.
I will not be afraid of death and pain, so burning forest come the duck's name.
I love that line.
We can work that out.
Did we leave the tartan on the table?
Yeah.
That's awkward.
I think they had to grab it after that. Was that?
Too
Did you
mu-
mean to do that?
Stage crew was amazing.
Yeah.
To our loyal stage crew, thank you.
We're sorry.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I love Tobin and.
Yeah.
Why did I
Can't
say
break that
that?
sword out.
Yeah, that last
Caleb
scene, it's a real gut
costume.
wrencher. Yeah.
What, the Tobin scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about as far as I've gotten in the editing, actually, so hopefully this will all line up and sync properly when I cut it together, but
We'll read their lips.
yeah.
Read my lips, no new axes.
Tobin actually looks like he could be Caleb's son.
Oh.
It's really
He
amazing.
kind of does.
It's yeah.
The coloring worked.
It
Those
did.
costumes were like the coolest costumes, almost. Besides the witch costumes.
Now these costumes, these white tabards or whatever, got the crosses taken off and were turned into
This is where. Sorry.
turned into turned into nun costumes, I think, in Cyrano.
Yeah.
So that and the
Over
witch
the
stuff.
witch.
Over the witch costumes.
So Caleb here, he started out just he had so much trouble getting fired up. By the end of it, he was
He was impressive. He's impressive.
Man, he's
hardcore.
nuts.
There were,
Like,
there were a couple rehearsals where we actually turned the lights off too soon on that, and we had like a bunch of guys with swords running off the stage. And
yeah,
Wondering
running
if the
into
audience-
each other and into audience members and tripping over their boards and oh boy.
I'm sure it happened in real wars, but
And
yeah.
the progression of these scenes is so difficult. The stage crew had to keep
It's going back and forth.
getting these, banners off and on and off and on.
Maybe we just had too many blackouts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the way they had the Black Raven on his shield. I don't know, that just seems to sum it up so well.
A little heavy on the screaming there,
yeah,
but
that wasn't
pretty
quite
funny.
the effect I was going for, but by the time I realized it wasn't,
It is the cry of women, my good
You're not supposed to
God,
quote
see?
lines before they happen.
It's a funny.
It really was a funny moment.
His sitting in the shield there was just beautiful.
I'm just glad he didn't drop it on his toes.
That would have fit too. But
Wow.
but yeah, he would have been complaining later that night.
Yeah.
They were nice heavy shields, which is good.
Those were amazing
It was
shields.
Yeah, because
They
y'all
held
took
up.
some, y'all took
I
some
don't-
real chips out of the
I don't know
corner
if
of
you
those
can
things.
see it on the video, but we had wood chips literally flying off the shields as we were banging them.
Yeah,
I couldn't see that
Let's
from the
see.
back.
I could.
They were pretty gouged up afterwards.
They were
I
nice
noticed
and
that. It was a beautiful thing.
Oh.
Yo, people, the queen is dead. This is a sad moment.
Oh, sorry.
I easily just could not. I mean,
The
after that
other-
other scene, you can't do anything
It
else.
just
with
doesn't
Isaac,
work with the
just-
character to do anything else.
Yeah.
The audience did a really good job. They would laugh and then notice that it was tragic.
Well, like this scene, like
and
it was
just
funny,
really
and then
confusing to them.
right off, it's
It's
creepy
appalling.
and just ugh.
The first night,
This monologue here
Thursday
is
night,
amazing.
Thursday night, I did this wrong. I didn't realize, and I came on with the knife in a weird position or something, and about half the audience figured I'm coming up to stab Macbeth in the back, and they all gasped, and I'm like, "Wait, guys, no, Lady Macbeth has killed herself. This is the knife," and
Yeah,
I
we didn't
changed
really,
it after that.
We didn't really practice that bit
Yeah,
with the knife.
you gave that. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much okay. We've hit rock bottom for Macbeth. All he can do now is kill more people.
These monologues by Macbeth at the end are some of the most amazing lines ever written, I think.
Did Ben go flying off the stage in this scene or the one
Oh,
before?
This
just watch,
one.
just watch.
There's this one.
He was such a trooper, and he could break full.
He was amazing. Just glad he didn't land on any swords.
I'm glad we didn't gouge anything out.
Or Kirsten
There were
Etherton or
so many
something.
bad.
This is actually a good shot of him exiting. He just sort of vanishes.
I really think I saw his feet parallel to the stage as he.
he
flew
jumped
out that
into it.
curtain.
He absolutely jumped into it every time.
He did.
If he had the chance.
Feet being thrown. It's
He's
a
an
lot
acrobat.
like,
Throw
you
yourself
can't
into
fire
life.
me, I
Or
quit.
death.
It's curtains for you. Sorry.
Pay no attention to the matter.
The amount of puns that went on during this entire
Was
semester.
truly beautiful.
We
Travesty.
Well, if it's
we like to
Shakespeare-
refer to that those times as the Punic Wars.
Panic Wars. Yeah. Wait, we're having a dramatic monologue.
Another one.
We're
Off
starting,
he
we're
goes.
starting to roam, Kirby.
Should we sing the song for the audience?
Maybe that should be
Yeah.
a bonus feature.
Yeah, bonus
As a
track.
bonus
Bonus
track.
track.
Oh,
Be
heaven.
happy,
Sound
audience. Be
track.
happy.
I think
Oh yes, here come the good guys.
Your shield.
Woo!
we
Yeah,
never
see,
used,
that's the third night where he's got the good face makeup.
we never used branches for this scene.
We didn't.
No.
It was
Yeah.
fall. There weren't any branches to be
Yeah.
had.
That's true.
And
It was
we,
one of those things where, like, the night
use the
before,
ivy, I
they were
guess.
like, "Do we get branches?" And I was like, "Well, I told you got branches, but no, you don't get branches. Just go with it."
Pretend.
Oh yeah.
Corey McLaughlin would coach this, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only concern about this scene is we ended up coming off a little bit like the orcs in the Two Towers.
Yeah.
Well, it was also kind of like the
You're
bad
Scottish
guys
States.
in the
Subtle
stone table
symbolism.
scene.
I like the subtle symbolism
Yes,
of your robe
again,
there.
again, I've got the cross on my
Yeah.
face matching the shield.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
That was so deliberate. You can get away with the most blatant things on stage that would never work in a
I was
movie.
always afraid the audience would think that scene was corny, but they always seemed to love it, so...
What's not to love?
It's the drums. It's all the drums.
Yeah, the drums did.
I mean, they're kind of pagans,
Helpful
but
a lot.
they're good.
No, those were Christian drums.
They're very redeemed drums.
Kenny's playing.
I can see.
Preach it, brother!
Oh yeah, here we go.
Woo!
Oh.
You know, as much as I love the other sword fight, this one just...
This one's
This
awesome.
one is special.
I gotta say I love the other one more, but you know, I'm
remember
kind of
who did
biased.
this one.
Well, here they come.
You guys just choreographed all of this yourself.
Seriously?
The two of you. And just came to us with it one night, and
Well,
it was just
Emily
perfect.
almost helped, I think.
Did
Emily
I would
did
imagine.
help.
I just remember
And he
I
just-
wasn't there,
Definitely
and then...
I love how he just pulls
Yeah.
off the shield there. He's gotten so cocky. He's like, I don't need this.
But it did just take one evening to basically block it out. It came fast. Woo!
You just, oh, I hear those swords going through the air.
Now I
And he
remember
actually
why I
does
was
fight
trying
guys.
so hard.
You cut on my kidney. That hurts.
You've got two.
Oh, I am so amazed that no one just like got absolutely brained during
I
this.
dropped the knife at that point,
You
and
dropped-
I had to. I had
It looked
to,
deliberate.
Yeah.
It came off with the shield, but it looked like... I mean, it shows up very well. It looks deliberate.
It took so long to teach Tobin that he could not continue to flop around and resist while I had this piece of metal in his innards. But he got it. He got it perfectly.
He
We got
died
dreadful
so
quotes out
well.
of that.
And then I wiped the
process.
knife on his body. It's
Oh, he flops
Tobin's,
for a good long while.
Tobin's
Like,
death.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he kind of sat there gurgling and twitching and.
And
This
you
is
could
another
tell
part
he
that got a
was
great
Still going
audience
for the sword.
reaction.
Oh yeah, I see the
And see,
priest.
this was we had
And
to
I
figure out a
go.
way to get him off stage, so
yes.
Ross and our
Yeah.
faithful priest come in handy again.
I'm sure this dragged, sort of, for the audience who couldn't actually see him.
I know
But-
that there were members of
but-
the audience who thought that Tobin had actually been stabbed, and when Ross comes on and looks kind of like he doesn't know what to do, they thought he was, you know, what do we
Like,
do if someone's
How do I
bleeding
smuggle
on
him off
stage?
without actually showing the audience that there's blood all over the stage?
Oh,
We're
man.
all very thankful that was not the case.
Yeah, I
But
think
everybody's
Tobin's
just
mother
spellbound.
was sure we had really murdered.
Dr. Mitchell was probably the only one who was actually disappointed.
he wanted to see blood.
He actually requested that we reenact my stabbing.
Yeah.
Well, he
I don't
should've
think we
done
could have done it twice in a row. They would have missed by about like 1 inch, and it would have gone all the way through your leg.
Yeah.
There are blood vessels in there. Various places.
You've had an impressive limp for a long time.
But Dr. Mitchell, if it weren't for all that, I would have loved to have done it. You know, I'm sorry. I would just
And you had that great pair of jeans with the hole in it. You know.
yeah, get a trophy.
Very glorious jeans.
So this last bit is attributed to the little Dr. Mitchell in the microphone. Should he?
That's yeah.
We love you, Dr. Mitchell.
Anybody who's been in a Dr. Mitchell class where he's recording for DL will get that.
I don't know. I think if you put Dr. Mitchell inside a microphone, he'd just shrivel up and die.
Something twisted about that.
I thought it was awesome that Dr. Mitchell had a study group with the political theory majors after one of these
Did he?
performances, and they actually sat around for a good hour or two and discussed all the different themes, and they actually got everything we were trying to say. And
Wow.
Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Theory
and
majors
he
would
talked to
probably
Katie
be the
Tubal
people.
later. And
They probably did that with Antigone.
Oh yeah.
I know that all the political theory type people did that one too.
this is
Oh, that line! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I really
It's
shouldn't have
on now.
mentioned that.
It is. Yeah. You're going
Ouch.
down.
at this point I'm in the back,
Dude.
pacing, praying
Oh.
my heart out.
Those
Please
shields.
God, don't let anyone get hurt. Don't let them hit the sprinkler head.
Yeah, see that lovely
We
don't
failed
want
really
to
hard
let
on that
it
sprinkler.
I never knew.
You
Oh, no,
didn't
we
know
knew
there was a
that.
sprinkler head.
We knew that.
Now
If you
another
hit
thing,
it-
another thing about those shields, the straps, the leather straps, handles actually came off
They did.
during rehearsals, and I think
We had to
Jordan
re-screw them.
went and
Bolted
big old bolts and
through
just
the
bolted 'em in.
metal.
I helped. I remember that. It was the night before. the
Yeah, it
production.
was.
Whoa.
You
That
really
was a
just
nice
threw
drop.
yourself onto your back there, Kirby. Good for you.
That was a nice drop.
And let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macduff was from his mother's womb.
Untimely ripped. Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Oh darn.
Ta-da!
Wrong thing to say to your opponent, Mr. Macbeth.
The fight got a little slow in there, but
Well, those swords are so heavy.
they really were. I mean,
They were
I
trying
mean,
not to
you really got a
kill each other.
sense
Right,
of their
exactly.
weight.
You're
And
trying-
yeah.
Probably more realistic.
Well,
than
they're
that.
playing it like they're tired, you know? It works.
That's true, actually.
Maybe you were.
It might be.
you
Tired?
can see
No.
actually. Well, it's on the part of the shield that's out of the camera now, but the chips that have come out of the edge of the shield there, where it's just
Yeah.
been beaten on.
Whimper, whimper.
Cringe,
Oh,
cringe.
just- oh.
We'll
You know, I
stick you
got
in a
myself
zoo.
I got myself so worked up. You're probably lucky that I didn't actually take a whack at your neck.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, it's mutual. You're like I didn't stab. Oh wait.
Yeah, that was.
Stab you in the leg. Ah.
And you know,
That was
his
it.
acting was just so much better
Yeah,
for having actually
What's that
been
kick out of the
stabbed.
way?
The knife, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just sort of went sailing through.
Because it was in the way of the fight.
Somebody would have stepped on it and then fallen on it, and
yeah.
Bad. Yes.
And Dr. Mitchell would have had blood on stage.
This was just like,
Wow.
yeah.
And that was
then
just the
he
last
grabbing-
night. The last
grabbing
night
the
we
blade.
figured out
Oh,
that I
that's
needed to
great.
drop the shield there.
Excision fighting.
it's really a brutal fight.
And then you just have like bits and pieces of you scattered across the stage.
Paul David comes
And
and picks
they're
it up, kind
"Oh,
of like how
no."
the witch's mantles
Yeah.
disappeared, and it's like, where'd he go?
Oh no.
It's magic.
They've all got their blood now. It's great.
Yeah.
Kelly Castell wouldn't let me put blood on their shirts for this scene. 'Cause- oh well.
It would have had to be washed for the next night.
The thing was is that
And
they
again.
washed them anyway every
Look.
night.
They
When you
needed
had to.
washing.
So
Again, the personality and the face paint here. Jonesy's is just really awesome.
It would have actually detracted from the scene, I think.
the blood on the shirts.
Because people would have looked at that and not been paying attention to their intensity.
Yeah, perhaps.
I did enjoy it, Caleb.
God, soldiers.
One Tobin. There's only one
He got
Tobin.
it.
Singular. Soldier. Singular.
Well, I killed him 3 nights running. It's possible there's 4 of them.
Everything just sort of cools down for a minute.
It's interesting to hear how Seward has such a just kind of a stoic acceptance of his son's death. Well, at least he died well.
He had a good death.
He's British.
He's hurting on the inside, but he's
not gonna show it.
You
Yeah,
you
here they
did such
come.
great like suffering hero here.
Ah, it's the
Oh, I
head.
love that head.
The
You're-
audience just loves.
Come.
Oh,
The
And this is the last night we had a lady in the audience who was actually like when I held up the head there, she just gasped audibly. That was
And we see here that the witches haven't quite given up.
they're after the.
they've been off stage for a long time. They really,
Prowling around seeking whom they may devour. And they're like,
They've practically been winning the whole
Yeah.
play.
I mean, they go from
They
Thane
really
to
have.
Thane, and they, don't quite find what they're looking for in each of them.
And ooh, that one. That one will do.
Let's go for the one in the middle, ladies.
Ladies, the handsome Italian to you. Just center stage. Thank you.
Scottish, Italian.
And I was always just... I thought this scene was actually one of the bigger risks we took with this. Because I wasn't sure if people would think it was too over the top, or...
There was so little time to get it right. We were still massaging
This
this,
is pushed
like
way to the last. Yeah.
it was. And this, frankly, was not in the text at all. This was pure interpretation. And that's always risky.
But the way the play, I mean, the way we've been playing it
we
so
needed
far, we
to
had
see
to have them
the
again.
witches lose. Like, we just...
Right.
We needed that.
The way we interpreted it was much more black and white, I think, than most productions.
Yeah.
And so we needed to tie it in a nice bow. The sign of the cross, the witches freak out.
And there's our poster.
We wanted to have them scream.
But that would have broken it.
No, yeah, I think it
Broken their
actually was a whole
voices.
lot better with the horse gasping.
Sort of silent scream.
I agree.
Hail King of Scotland.
Yay!
Frozen precipitation, you King of Scotland.
And it's not here yet, but we have credits like scrolling right now. And,
Yay!
so thank you to you and you.
Oh,
and,
and
oh,
that-
oh, you were brilliant.
yeah,
I love
that
you.
was
You were so good.
amazing.
And we
Basically
could not have
everyone
done
was
And I
it.
guess
And I really
you-
can't see the credits that are scrolling by right now, so I might, just be.
I'm assuming you were important too, and
Who are we
you were in
thankful
this
to?
production. Oh,
Who's
Lord.
that?
Who else are we thankful to?
We could sing the song
Kudos
that
to
runs
the
under the
stage
credits.
crew,
We could.
the musicians.
That's so true. We should sing the song.
All right, sing away.
Go for it.
Oh, Ben's got the bottle and Maggie's got the dagger, and our witches are all murdering fiends. We've no cross for Canary, and him's mad as Ophelia because Bales cracks his puns on scene.
Guilty.
Yeah. Of course, Shakespeare wrote some of them.
Yeah.
And you added more.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Would you like to see my artistic license?
The head.
The head
Yes.
remaining on stage.
Scattered.
So.
Yay. That
Random
was
body
a
parts of Jonathan.
pumpkin from the hoedown. It was in the bloody tartan.
I think we added more
Yeah,
blood to that
three
tartan
swords
every
there.
night.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, I
It had to.
I forgot that my
It's
servers
dry.
also had the same turn pattern. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never see the three of them in together.
No.
So, I like that. The
Yeah, you
songs
get all of
there.
them in that one scene,
The
but not at the same
Thanes.
time. The Things.
David got this idea that the
Thanes
four
of
Thanes
Scotland.
like corresponded to the four hobbits in Lord of the Rings.
I said them there.
Maybe
Oh
they
yeah, and
correspond to
then
the-
Lady Macduff has the pattern too. The pattern is really cool. I love
Here
it.
they come skulking out one last time.
Really loved them.
Woo!
Wow. They were so good in an evil way.
And my deceased murdered wife. Yeah.
Yeah,
Suicide,
well, you're pretty
suicide.
deceased
Yay,
at this
Beth.
point.
And the headless.
Your head's
lord
lying in
self.
the corner, man.
Actually,
You're
I think
not
I'm
exactly so
holding it
undeceased
at the
yourself.
moment.
True. Kirby's the one who would have had to.
And there's someone's back. Yeah.
There's someone on someone's shoulder. Kirby's really the one who would have.
Oh yeah, and I get to come up
You had the
with
best.
my
You
own.
could have
Yes.
had the best line though.
Oh, good.
Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife.
And this is Saturday, so
Our
they
lovely
bring up
directresses.
flowers for directresses and all the
Hail
girls.
Queen of Scotland.
Something like that.
You guys really did do a good job.
Yeah.
We tried.
Thank
I
you.
think it
thank
was
you.
mostly God.
I think it was mostly God. 'Cause
He
I
always
sure
does
didn't know what I
a
was
good
Right
doing.
there, I'm wiping.
Well, objectively,
Blood
this was
and
not our
face paint
smoothest
out.
production ever, but it really came off very well,
It really did.
even with all the last-minute scrabblings
It
to
was
get it all
insane
together.
last minute.
The stage crew.
Is
There's
Christy on stage?
Megan
She
over on the
deserved
other
to have
side.
been
No,
if she wasn't.
Christy never let
Christy
herself
never
get put on
uses
stage.
these.
Yes.
I think
So
she
was
was
finally
backstage.
director's
We eventually
for
got you.
Good
And there's-
News.
Thank you, stage crew.
Stage crew.
Hoorah.
Amazing.
Is that the whole
people
stage
in
crew?
the
Let's
world.
see.
We
Leah.
didn't have a whole
No,
lot of
well,
Lisa
yeah, some of them
and-
you can't see there, I think.
Yeah, they're back there.
And there's
Yeah.
there's Deborah. You can sort of see her there, and Megan right behind Maggie.
I don't know what I was saying to her, but
Another successful
she was
production.
wonderful.
I always kicked myself after this because I realized I'd forgotten to thank Gabby of all the people I thanked
Oh.
up there. The
Thank you,
costume
Gabby.
mistress who made
Thank you,
like,
Thank you,
Gabby.
Gabby.
Thank you
Gabby.
very
For the
much,
record.
Gabby.
I'm like, I have all these roses. Who do I give them to? Oh, you need roses. I will
Nobody
give
gave
you
me
roses.
roses.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get
I
any
hope
either.
you recover.
You got a head.
That's true. You remember that
Yeah, I
Dove
was like,
chocolate?
"Can I please get
Decorate
off
your
stage
life.
now?"
Oh
I
yes.
think that's Macbeth's
Yes.
head on the mantle.
Hey, you were in a very grave situation.
Okay, and I think we're done.
Looks like.
Thank you for watching, and thank you guys for talking and staying up till midnight with me.
Thank
Sure.
you